Hey guys, it's Miharu and welcome back to SharePlay. What are we doing this time, Mark?
SharePlay. We're doing another box art, or how you call it, cover art commentary. I'm really excited for this one.
Cover art commentary.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Today we were talking about Crash Bandicoot. Everyone's favorite marsupial.
Yes.
And, I was so prepped for this and ready that I pretty much fixed up the whole thing myself, in the sense that I threw all the box arts into one beautiful little package, sent that zip right to you, and now we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Okay. And so we have done one of these before with Spyro. We've reviewed all of the Spyro box arts and judged them
Heavily. Probably
heavily.
a little too heavily.
That was a really fun one. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So yeah, now we're moving on to Crash Bandicoot, and there is a lot to get through.
There is a lot. Now, let me again, being the one who curated the collecting of all of these box arts, let me preface all of this by saying, we're going to be going over a couple, different versions here and there, and because Crash had more of his games come out in Japan than Spyro did, you'll notice that when we did the Spyro ones, there were several omitted games that didn't have a Japanese version, regional box art, because it never came out there. But for Crash, a great chunk of the series, in fact, most of the series came out in Japan. So there are plenty more to go over in that regard. There are bizarre differences on in certain regions between, like, say, US and Europe. So little things like that we'll go over. I'll make sure to mention, like, oh, this is this, or a little bit of trivia on this one. It's going to be on a game by game basis.
All right. And with that, let's get started with Crash Bandicoot 1.
Oh, my love. How I have longed to gaze upon your beauty once again.
And this is... it sure is a PlayStation box.
Who remembers K to A? That was
I was gonna say that's very different to have that.
That's how you can tell this is old. This was the predecessor rating to the E rating. So this was how they originally said E for everyone. It was K through A.
Nice.
Kids to adults. I like it. It's simple. It gets grabs your attention. It's showing, hey, 3D video game. Crash is coming right out of his world. He's gonna snatch you and bring you into his realm. He's
gonna
through.
Come towards you, and he's gonna jump out of the TV like Fat Albert.
He's gonna reach right through and bring you in. And I like it. Like, what are your thoughts, just like, on the simplicity of it?
I like it. The colors are really nice. Because it, like, the black being, like, it being just on, like, kind of a black background, but also seeing the colors within it in the circle, that the little, like, paper, like, tearing effect creates. It's just really nice. I always thought that, the whatever that is behind, like, the wood behind the logo, the Crash Bandicoot, I always thought that looked like ribs.
Yeah, the little, like,
it still looks like ribs.
Those little protrusions on either side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what those are, but I get what you mean by that. That is pretty funny. Yeah, and this is, I think, the first and only instance we're gonna see in all the logos of Bandicoot being in white. So
yeah,
that's very unique to this game. I, again, can't recall if any other Bandicoot word in the title of the other logos, or rather in the other logos. Like, I don't know if it changes color after this one, but I believe it's Jungle Rollers that we're seeing in the background. You can see the I believe you can see, let's see, he's hopping over a thing, so like a little, like, tiki little totem thing. Yeah, that little sliver in the back, that's either a pit or what it looks like it's one of the rollers.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. One of the jungle levels. It clues you right into what kind of game it's going to be. Got some crates in the background.
Crash's creepy smile. That's good.
They attempt to give him gums here, but like how realistically do these teeth, like those are some long ass teeth. The part where the cheeks upturn, the very ends, the edges of the smile, like his teeth are so goddamn long. Look how long those teeth are.
I know.
But he's got some spunk.
Yeah, and then we move on to the PAL one, which is like kind of the same, but also like very saturated.
That is something I need to immediately preface. Not sure if some of the weirdness we're going to be seeing in these images I'll be providing.
That's just the image that you got, probably.
I mean, you never know, because sometimes images are slightly altered in their colorization or the saturation, the lighting, the brightness. That can happen. I'm not personally sure whether or not some of these will be seeing these images are pre-saturated from whoever uploaded them, or if that's just how they are on the actual covers themselves. But yes, as you can see, this is a little more colorful compared to the US box art. It could just be the image. Not too sure, but I wanted to preface things by saying that. I'm not sure if the black bars are part of the cover. I think the reason it like doesn't have that effect and it's in more of a square thing is because like the PAL thing on the side, that's supposed to wrap around that's what I
the entire case. So like the only part that makes it weird is like I guess the bottom. I'm not sure what's supposed to be happening on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like they're saving space for all the logos and stuff. But what it looks like to me, since we're not doing the ripping effect and it's just the background, but because of these black bars, the way it looks is like someone was placing all these like layers into their composition, and then they sneezed when adjusting the background, and now it's just horribly off-centered.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, I get it, because I don't know, like, it makes me wonder where exactly it's supposed to be wrapping, because then certain things would get cut off, and then it just looks like a very long box, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's because of the fact that Crash's foot's, like, coming through, so you still have a little bit of that, like, weird layering, like, fourth wall breaking thing, but it's still odd, and I guess that's intentional. I guess the bottom is, in fact, intentional. But it just creates a really weird effect with the background, and because we're not doing the ripping thing, it looks really strange.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like how you get to see more of the background, though.
That's true. You do get to see one of those aforementioned rollers, which is cool. And you got a little pit. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I think some things are a little... Yeah, Crash himself, if you kind of like look back and forth between we're not going to do it in, post, but like if you right now kind of flip between the American and European art, some assets do get kind of moved around a little bit. Like the totem pole behind Crash on the left is a little our left, his right, is a little closer. The boxes are in a different position. The roller, again, you can see a little clearer, but other than that, it's the same basic like comp. It's just some things were tweaked a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God.
That loses into insane.
I'm.
Aye.
The eyes scare me. Like he looks like he's like, I'm coming for you. Like,
yeah, more than ever in this one.
Yeah.
He's a sinister little fool. Yeah, this is a really bizarre case. We talked about it a bit. I don't think we mentioned it exactly in the Spiral one, but every time we came to a reignited recreation of the classic, trilogy artwork, I don't think we ever made it a point to say, because they were the redesigns were just different enough to where they can get away with posing them the same way, or at least as close as possible, but the faces always looked pretty okay and the proportions looked fine for the most part. For Crash, it's a little weird because he has such a specific design that, like, when you look at the American artwork, and whatnot, rather the original artwork for the original trilogy, and then see how what they've essentially done here for Ensign is they kind of quote unquote traced it, but with like their 3D model. So you get him looking like he does not look like that. His actual character model that you play as does not look like that. But they tried to like match that weird like stretchiness that the old model provided for the old artwork. And it makes him look really fucking like manic. It's really funny.
Yeah, looks creepy.
But again, all the assets are there. You have the crates, you have the rollers, the pit even, I think, right there. You have the exact same pole, the mushrooms, and even the butterfly off to the side. They're all there.
Yeah. And the logo still looks like ribs.
It does.
So, it's all good.
And it was recreated, because if you look at the logos as we go through, or compare them yourself, like on images or whatever, Google Images, you'll see the logos are very high fidelity. They are not the exact same logos like the Night Dog assets, but just upscaled. They're completely recreated from the ground up as well.
Yeah. And
they look very, very good.
Yeah. It all looks pretty nice, except for, like, Crash's, overall look in his face. Other than that, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Man.
This is interesting because Crash Bandicoot. So what we've got here.
Crash Bandicoot.
Actually, we've got two different artworks we'll be showing off. This is, I think, the more well-known one. What I like is that we have what's essentially kind of the same basic concept, Crash running to the camera, but now recontextualized by providing a different level, and it's one of the more famous levels. You have a boulder chase scene going on here.
Yeah. It's really blurry.
Yeah, they try to do the Spyro 2 thing where it's like he's flying right to the camera. Here, Crash is running really fast right to the camera.
Yeah, but I can see why Japan kind of gravitated toward this character. Like, he's very cartoony and zany looking. The model that they have for Crash in Japan is like, at least on these box arts, is like, the design is so weird to me because he always looks kind of like blobby.
Yeah, it's true. And I think I know why that is. It's likely because with how angular Crash's design is in America, with all the pointy ears, the pointy hair, the really spiky eyebrows, they needed all of those to be... I mean, it's like how we talked about Spyro's horns with Spyro 1's Japanese box art.
Yeah.
They needed to make them look more cute and a little bit more marketable for the Japan market. So I think what it was, if I remember the story right, they were having a meeting and like Shuhei Yoshida and some other guys were there and they didn't really approve of the original design. And the deal was almost off to even bring Crash to Japan until I think it was either Jason or Andy. I forget. It might have been Jason. I think he himself, it wasn't Charles, sketched up something real fast and made small twigs, or it was someone else, I think. But Jason was asking them like, "Hey, can you like tweak this and this, or how would you redesign him?" And they like tweaked the eyes and rounded out the other features, and it was just those small tweaks. The nose was, I think, made a little bit bigger or a little smaller, and like literally they took a break from that. In that meeting they had a recess, and when they came back they showed them that art and they said, "Okay, that's it, that's our design."
Yeah.
And they approved. And this Crash, as you'll be seeing, actually sticks around for a very long time, even despite all the different redesigns that the American Crash would get, from VV to TT Oxford to Radical. This design would stay for pretty much all of that. So that's something to look forward to as we continue on. But again, this is only one of two versions of the Crash 1 Japanese box art. The one I own is the next one.
Okay.
Which is...
That looks like Sonic.
All he needs to do is just throw his hand between his legs and go, yeah, and like point at you.
Yeah, he's almost doing the Sonic pose.
Jesus.
You're gonna hate me for saying that. Even though it's the Sonic's ass game, I don't care.
The Sonic's ass game. So, I like this one. I don't know if I like it more than the original. When I bought Crash 1, the Japanese Crash 1, I was hoping it would be the original, and I got this one instead. But it's very clean. The model looks a hell of a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The background's a little more bland, but at least it shows off, like, one of the cool tribal designs you'll be seeing throughout the early stages in the game.
I don't know why his teeth kind of look like marshmallows.
They do. They look better than his fucking giant Tasmanian devil freaking smile. His enlarged teeth.
His arms look super long.
That is the one weird thing. I'm not sure what it is about this model, but, like, yeah, his limbs look like they're bendy, and he's like, just like popping along on his merry way. They look really funny. Yeah, they look a little longer than they should.
I like to think that this is the way the Crash actually runs, like, in the Japanese versions. He's always running with his, like, arms out, and they're, like, swinging.
And yeah, as you can see, like I was saying, some of the features are a little more downsized. Like, his hair is also now bizarrely orange. It's not red, which is weird. And you don't see very much of it. He looks almost bald, actually.
Yeah.
Also, the dark brown innards of, like, his ears have also been unified to orange as well.
Yeah. What is the background?
If I remember right, it's either something from... It's a detail, like a texture from, like, the poles you could find, like, either in Papu's hut or, like, the Great Gay. It's, like, it's one of those textures, if I remember right.
Because it looks like a quilt.
A quilt? There's an overline... Over top that, there's, like, another, like, weird, like, wall texture that they plastered over.
Yeah, there's like some stone texture, but it looks like, from far away, it looks like a quilt, like some kind of blanket.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
That's funny.
I still like it. I mean, I'm not saying it's, bad in comparison to the other one, but it doesn't quite show you what the game's about. It just shows you, here's a spunky little silly dude, which is fine.
Yeah.
But,
I like that. I mean, it's kind of the reason why I like the Sly 1 box art. It's because you don't know anything about the game. It's so mysterious. That box art is so mysterious, and I love it. But maybe we'll get to that in a future episode.
Ooh, if you want to see that, yeah, definitely let us know.
Yeah. Here we go. My first Crash game.
Nice. It's Crash 2.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed, like, the thing I always thought was weird is that you can't tell that Crash is wearing gloves.
Yeah.
His hand that's, like, at the front there, like, it just looks like a weird, like, mitt kind of thing.
It looks like a boxing glove.
Yeah, it looks like a boxing glove.
Crash himself, and this isn't how we were talking about saturation before. This isn't that for this image. That's just how Crash looks. Like, yeah, it is really weird how brightly orange he is on this cover. And even as a kid, I would look at that and go, yeah, where's his gloves, or why are they that color? Like, it's so odd. It's not just this render. A lot of the promo images, if you look up, like, Crash in that Superman pose with the jetpack and stuff like that, his gloves are not, like, fully that brown color. And it's really, really odd. I have no idea why that's the case. But this is iconic. I mean, having Cortex looking all sinister, the new and improved Cortex look. You get
He looks funny.
Yeah, he does.
He's like,
They're both DreamWorks facing the fucking camera.
Yeah, they are.
You have the jetpack, the snow level, so it gives you, like, a taste of, oh, hey, like, brand new shit you didn't see in the last game. Warp room, mysteriousness. It's like, where is Crash this time? It's really, really cool.
Why is the 2 on a golf ball?
That's what everyone says. It's the moon.
It's the moon? I mean, yeah, I figured it was the moon, but it looks like a golf ball. It always did.
I suppose that's because even though the warp rooms take place amid the ruins of Cortex's, like, castle, or at least that island, by the end, the Cortex fight takes place in space. There are space levels, of course, like we were just saying, the jetpack levels, the piston levels. So there's a lot more spaciness in this game than there was, like, no space theme at all in the first one. So I guess they wanted to show off, hey, we have physics, we have space physics, we have space themes, we have sci-fi shit we can do now, like more so than in the last one. So I guess they thought we're making this one somewhat space themed. And we got the moon looking like a golf ball blasting through the new logo. We have Bandicoot in orange now, and that would be the mainstay from here on out.
Yeah. But I do like, I like the composition of this in general. Like, and I like the contrast of, like, the brown of the floor, like, compared to the blue of the rest of the room, and then you got, like, the snow level in the back. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, obviously, the jetpack level isn't in the first warp room, but it's just showing you, like, hey, we got some cool shit in this one.
Yeah, well, like, I feel like they had to show that because it's such an iconic level.
Yeah. It's an iconic feature.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is Crash 2, and it's pretty awesome. Nothing would really change by the time we get to the PAL version. Again, some weird, saturated bizarreness. But you get to see a little bit more of the background. You get to see a lot more of the background because for some reason the moon is crashing through the...
It's just like crashing through
background?
The box.
Yeah,
it's like there's no thing in the... What is that supposed to be in the logo anyway? Like, what's the moon actually crashing through?
I don't know. It's like it's a thing. It's
big space station type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to call those. They're just parts of the logo.
Yeah.
The metallic background of the logo. I don't know.
But it's like not there here, so
they completely took it out. It makes it look a little naked. It's like the thing we were talking about with Spyro 2. Not to open up old wounds, but like they took out the metallic 2 background for Gateway to Glimmer, and they didn't replace it with anything for the logo, for the words to sit on. So like,
yeah,
you just kind of have all this empty space in the top.
Ugh.
Not bad by any real means, but I think because we're seeing a lot more of the background, it takes out a little bit more of the mystique, I guess.
Right. I mean, I kind of like how the logo is centered, but at the same time I don't, because it's covering up Cortex a little bit. It's like going over the Cortex head.
I mean, you know what? Maybe that's why they did it that way. Because if you look at the American box art again, like, it's way off to the left, so you get to see more of Cortex, and he's not obscured at all. But
right,
them
and then
censoring...
Crash is like in front of it.
Yeah,
it seems like here that everything is, the logo is like taking space, and it's like,
Yeah, them centering the logo dead in the middle. And that's because of how everything's off to the left, and I see why they couldn't exactly do it. I mean, you probably could have done it the way the American version did it. You'd have to, like, shrink the logo a little bit more if you're going to keep that, like, metallic bit of the logo intact instead of omitting it altogether. But if that were there, yeah, it would have definitely obscured Cortex, and that wouldn't have looked good for the comp. So I see why they did it. It's just, why bother making the decision to center the logo if you had to, like, start omitting shit from the logo just to make it work?
Right.
Apart from that exact same position and location of everything else.
Yeah, and then we have the insane one, which, like, Crash still looks weird. It's his eyes. Like, he just looks like freaky.
So
he's gonna kill you.
The eyes in this instance is specifically a choice they made, and this isn't even the first game to do this, but to accentuate his, zaniness, his wackiness, they have one small pupil and one big one. Yeah. So that's actually, if you could believe it, that's a complaint people had with N-Sane's fucking model, but whatever. We're not gonna get into that. This is taking, for all intents and purposes, inspiration from the American Boxart because we have the metallic thing intact once again. However, because we're having a weird Spyro 3 reignited artwork problem where because this was a promo image made for Insane, that gave them the freedom, since we're going to show off this much of the warp room, it gave them the freedom to place these guys and these things wherever they wanted, and the logo as well. What they opted to do was kind of shove everything together so you can't really see the snow level in the back. And you have all this weird negative space on the left-hand side. You're essentially seeing what was originally the save screen.
Yeah.
Which I forget if it still is or it's not. I don't think it is in Insane, but that was originally the save screen.
Also, it has the names of the levels. Like, you could actually see the names of the levels at the top there. That's
pretty cool. Cortex, I think, looks also a little strange this time around, and it's because his eyes have a more humanly shaped thing going on, rather than the cartoony, weird big eyes. So,
yeah, I could see that.
Looks a little weird. Plus, he's not yellow in this one. He's beige, like the color he's supposed to be during this era, which is very odd. That is not a saturation issue or whatever. He is beige.
That's weird.
In most of the promo shit that does this type of art style, he is beige.
Looks yellowish, though.
Yellowish. His model, of course, still is yellow, but in all the promo stuff, I don't know if there was an internal debate among Vivi whether or not to to keep him yellow as was established in Wrath of Cortex, or have him a little more beige, like in the original trilogy. It might have been actually, you know what? I think someone proved to me as early as I think Bash or something. I can't recall. We'll see it later. That there are a few promo images out there from, I think, even the PS1 era where he did have yellow skin, but it wasn't really a common thing, and it wasn't unified until Wrath.
Yeah.
That I know for a fact.
Yeah. The colors here are very weird. They seem washed out.
Yeah, they are a bit different. To have that more realistic look or whatever, because again we're going with this Pixar art style, sort of photorealistic but still cartoony enough. Everything looks a little more realistic, so they didn't have as much fun with the colors here as they did with as the original did, because the original could get away with that,
Yeah.
So everything looks kind of, the center pedestal just is monochromatic as fuck. It's just stone colors, stone textures. Yeah. It had green and yellow and red, whatever, in the other ones.
Yeah, the contrast was so good in the other one, and this one's just kind of eh.
You still get the green bluish top though, the ceiling and everything.
Yeah.
And the big save slab looks, still pretty good.
Slab, yeah. You could tell that Crash is wearing his gloves now.
Yes. There's that. I'm oh, thank God. He is wearing them.
Have a big oven mitt.
It's true. Here we are again with the Japanese Crash, just kind of doing its own thing. We got penguins.
Yeah, we do have penguins. We're oh!
Holy shit. Now, I don't know. Okay, I believe there's supposed to be some promo art somewhere, and I forget which region even did it, if it was ours or if it was Japan, of Crash going through a snow level with the jetpack, but here he doesn't have the jetpack, so it looks what it could be also, maybe, is how at the end of the polar levels, he just bucks you off and you go flying. It could be that.
It looks like he's just jumping.
It looks like something just launched him a million miles, because again, we've got that blurry background, and he's clearly in a snow level, so,
speeding toward the camera, going yeah, this is fine.
His hand, the one that's gripped into a fist, it's he's supposed to be controlling, that's the position in which he uses the controls for the jetpack, so it looks like it's supposed to be there, but it's not.
Yeah, you're right. It's it's just invisible.
Or he's just doing, a Superman superhero. Like, I'm coming right up to the screen. I'm cool.
Yeah, it could be either of those. It's so weird.
Do you know what the subtitle reads?
Cortex no Gyakushu. It's like, it's the same thing as Cortex Strikes Back. It's pretty much what it means.
Okay. That's good. They didn't, stray too far. Like, Spyro 2 did that. It was like, Tondemo Tours. It was like, going through portals or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, what? Tondemo. Well, God, what did I learn about that? It wasn't flying through I thought it was flying through portals, but it's actually like,
traveling or something?
No, it has something to do with like strange or like, cause I thought it was like tondemo, but it's tondemo. Like it's a different word entirely. It means like it's like strange or something, like mystical, magical. I don't know.
The mystical magical polymerization.
Like I'll have to look that up again, but it's not what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. Point being though, it didn't match either of the fucking American or European subtitles at all. It did its own thing, like straight up.
Yeah.
This Japanese Crash design though, clearly, well, first off, you can see his gloves. We have to point that out.
Yeah.
But also, it basically is from that other like simplistic Crash 1 box art. So it's not the model they went with for the one where he's running from the boulder. It's the other one, and you can tell like it's been refined a little bit more since then. So it looks really good.
Okay, here, tondemo, unthinkable, unexpected. So like,
okay,
yeah, unexpected tours.
I mean that does. I like how we're talking about Spyro while it's Crash, but I like how it does still kind of get the point across because Spyro was thrown in unexpectedly, but like they generalized the hell out of it rather than like, the American box art was like Ripto's Rage. It's focused on the new villain. Gateway to Glimmer. It's focused for whatever reason on the first level. So like,
yeah, I'm gonna have my Japanese dictionary up just so we can like go through these Japanese titles, and then I know what everything means. But like, Gyakushu it's basically strikes back. It means counterattack, so it's the same thing.
Okay, that's cool. Here we are.
Warped. This is fun. This is a weird box art, but I like it because like I like how it it shows the animal buddies. You got your little baby T in the back. You got Pura. You got Crash looking cool with his sunglasses and his jacket on the motorcycle.
his cool purple gloves with studs on them.
Yeah. You got Coco's face looking utterly weird. I mean, like it looks fine right now because of like it, these models on the box art, these renders, because it looks fine because it's like old PS1 stuff. But when we get to the Insane one, her face, it's weird.
I know exactly what you mean. I like it because it shows the different elements. Again, like Crash, the American and, for the most part, European arts tend to show, like, here's the new gameplay. And the Japanese box arts tend to go, here's, like, the general premise, I guess. So here we have, this is a time travel game. So we've got, Sheriff Cortex in the back. He's messing with time. This is supposed to be that 50s, greaser, like we're out on the streets, with roadhogs and shit.
Yeah.
So that's, plus it also, they, in the marketing, decide to double it up as a parody to Terminator because there's that one artwork of Crash with the red eye and Coco's behind him. So there's that. You have Pura and Baby T in the back. So those are two more little animals we'll get to hop on the backs of. And Coco's
I like how Baby T's just standing on the road.
He's like, hey guys, what's up?
I'm here too.
And Coco specifically on Pura because this is our little hint that we get to play as Coco this time around.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fun stuff. Am I the only one? I probably am. But raise your hand in the comments if you were like me as a kid and you didn't quite see Crash's nose there. So if you were looking at this box art from afar, it kind of looked like that simple lack of not being able to really see Crash's nose. Not his snout, the actual nose itself.
Actual nose.
Completely like redid his face to where it looks like he's just staring directly at you, and because you can't really pin the nose, like, it made his face look weird when I was a kid. It made his face look a little different, and I don't really know how to describe it, but
I think I know what you're talking about, but the thing is, I always saw his nose because, like, I don't know, like, then what did you think that little black circle was? Like, it's just...
I never really saw it. I don't know why I didn't see it, but like it never registered to me that was Crash's nose at the time. I was like single digits. I don't know how old I was. It might have been just my weird little kid perspective from my brain. I don't know. But if anyone ever had something similar with that specific, with this render of Crash on this box art and not really registering that that's his nose, did that restructure his face for you a little bit? Did that make him look a little weird? Because to me it did. But that was probably just me. It took me a while to realize, oh, he's facing like this quarter turn, and he is glancing at the camera, but he's not looking straight at it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's odd. It's odd. It's a really weird thing to like admit to and to talk about, because it's like a weird perspective thing. But I was also like fucking like 4 probably, so pretty funny.
Yeah, I like Sheriff Cortex in the back there. It looks funny.
He means serious business. I like how the hat just totally like encompasses his head. So he actually looks kind of normal right there.
Yeah, he just looks like a normal man. Just with a big hat.
Little do they know he has a swollen head under there.
Yeah, he takes off the hat. It's like, oh, that's actually what your head looks like. I see.
that would be a cartoon gag. It's like this funny, weirdly shaped hat, and it takes it off, and his head's that exact shit. Oh. All right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry you have to live like this.
I like the logo, the warped in red.
Oh
it's
yeah,
really nice with the blue electricity in the background and the stopwatch.
The stopwatch is really cool with that subtle like red 3. Because the thing is, when you see Naughty Dog or any official site or official company referred to this game, it's always Crash Bandicoot : all caps warped. It's never Crash 3 warped.
Yeah, weird, I mean it's the same with Spyro. Like it's Spyro Year of the Dragon. It's not Spyro 3.
Yeah. It's really weird. But I do like the subtle red 3.
They had a weird thing with 3s back then. They're just like, I don't know if we should actually title it 3.
I don't know if there was like a death sentence for making something a trilogy, even though like there were so many trilogies back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really weird. But the fact that it's a subtle detail I like, so good stuff.
Looks nice. Yeah.
The PAL region obviously did something slightly different.
I kind of like this. I think this is kind of fun.
This is taking advantage of the fact that you have all this space because of how your box is structured with the logos, the PlayStation, all of that nonsense, bordering everything, how it's different from ours. This is a great example of them taking advantage of it by not trying to recreate ours, but doing their own thing, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I like Tiny on the side. That's fun.
Tiny, which I think also he was on the side of like our back cover probably. I remember seeing that render like on something official from our region.
Yeah, it's probably on the back. The Wumpazooka.
Hell yeah. It makes you go, oh my god, when do I get that? Late in the game and you barely use it.
Oh my god, look, Crash has a girlfriend. That's probably what some people thought.
I hope not. I mean,
apparently there are some people who thought that. I was checking something recently. They're just like, Coco was Crash's sister. I was like, how do you not know that? She said it, but like maybe they just weren't paying attention.
True. Or you could be like McDonald's and think that they give each other suggestive looks, and it's like, oh, maybe don't do that.
Yeah. I can imagine people looking at this and just immediately thinking that, though, because like, oh, there's a girl on the back of the cool guy's motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, as the trope dictates, whenever a cool guy's on a motorcycle, it's usually some hot girl that's non-related to him, hugging him on the back to hold on for dear life. But I'll say this much, since I already made the Coco video on my channel. I'm not attracted to polygons or 90s models. However, retroactively looking back, the outfit they gave Coco for these promotional materials is pretty solid.
Oh, yeah?
Some people actually have went ahead and recreated that as a mod for Crash 4, having her wear that outfit. And I'm like, okay.
I can't tell what she's wearing.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You get a slightly, and I say slightly better look at the actual Terminator parody that they did, because it's all drenched in like a dark shadow and everything's all like blue tinted. But she's leaning forward a little bit more, and you can see she has like a tank top and like a skirt on.
Yeah. I can see her legs, but I guess
Yes.
it's, yeah. Can't, leg.
Oh, yes. Other than that, you have, Egyptian background, Tiny in his gladiator getup. So you have, it still makes it known that it's a time travel thing. You even see the warp orb in the corner where PlayStation and PAL are.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Pretty sick.
Pretty sick. Let's see. Oh, my God. The insane one. Okay.
Here we go.
Coco's face, man. I can't deal. It looks like she has extremely high cheekbones.
It's her muzzle. It's the fact that her cheeks look sunken in. Because, again, they just kind of traced. I say that with, like model-wise, like 3D model-wise. They just kind of traced this, in a way, off the PS1 designs. So they didn't really bother to fix anyone's proportions. Because, again, we get weird, ever so slightly, like, jank 90s models and like designs for the earlier artwork. They just kind of kept all that intact, and they didn't really bother to flesh them out a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the way Crash looks here, because it's the only one where he doesn't look like he wants to kill you.
Ironic, seeing as he's supposed to be mimicking the Terminator, but anyway.
Yeah. But his smile isn't like super wide, and like his eyes kind of are obscured by the sunglasses, so it looks fine.
His nose, I can see it.
Yeah.
Baby T looks a little weird. I think
he does. I don't like his face.
It's his lower jaw, like it's protruding a little bit when that wasn't the case. He had a bigger snout in the original, so
Yeah,
it kind of obscured his like lower jaw. But here they like over exemplified it.
Yeah, Pearl looks okay.
He looks alright, yeah.
His mouth is kind of going off to the side, like, but like it. I like the logo. The updated logo looks really nice.
It's really like crystal clear. Yeah, it looks very good. I like that they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. The thing they did, the tracing, the example of like quote unquote. I keep saying tracing, that actually works is every time they do the logo, because they look exactly the way they did in the originals. But like I said, these were all remade. These are not the original logos upscaled. They have been completely remade. And it looks really good.
That's pretty cool.
But other than that, I mean, this is the exact same as the American art, so not too many differences.
Not too many.
We wouldn't see that until this.
That's...
So, welcome to...
They're having a party.
Yeah, welcome to, from this point onward, most Japanese Crash box arts are going to start doing that typical Japanese thing where it's like, look at all the stuff. So much stuff crammed into this one package. So, because the time travel theme is like simultaneously like well done and not hinted at enough, I guess. Japan saw it, I guess, as a world tour game, because we go to Egypt, we go to Arabia, we go to the Roman Colosseum.
Right.
We're traveling to different places around the world. We're not time traveling, even though we totally are. But you know, I mean, it's their take on, I guess, you know, what this type of game is about, and that's why we have like the blimp in the background. We have the future level. We have what I think is the medieval area in the back. But it's on the globe, and even now the logo is like vastly different. It's a globe.
Yeah.
Do you know what this one says? The subtitle?
I was just looking for it. Yeah, okay. It's a Butobi Sekai Ishu. So it's like flying around the world.
He does a cheat and he flies around the world.
Yeah. He does a cheat and flies around the world. That's exactly what it says, basically.
Now, the funny thing is, because, again, you have the Americanization of one thing and then having to change that for other regions. I like how we have something of the same idea from how the West set this up for Crash and Coco for the promotional stuff, but it's recontextualized. So you have Crash and Coco. Coco's behind Crash. They're sitting on something, but it's Baby T, and Crash has his typical, you know, regularly styled outfit and look, and Coco is in her regular outfit, so it's not all this cool, like, on a motorcycle and we're going all crazy. They're just on Baby T, who looks like Yoshi for some reason.
Yeah, they're just like, what if we make Baby T look like Yoshi? People will buy it then. I like how Crash is just having the time of his life. He's like,
ah! Yeah!
That's what he actually looks like when he does a cheat and he flies around the world.
And then Coco, meanwhile, is like, 3.
3.
This is the third one.
Look, it's our third game, even though it says that big 3. Do you not see that 3? I'm just gonna hold up 3 fingers just to let you know.
I could do that after all. We have 5 fingers in each hand because of no relation to the Yakuza or anything like that.
Don't worry about it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck.
Oh shit!
You better censor that Crash 2 death animation. Oh fuck.
We're not marketable in Japan.
Marketable plush. That's why I got Fake Crash.
Marketable plush. Yeah.
Who made his debut in this one?
Because it wasn't marketable, but now it is highly marketable.
It retroactively became marketable.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole world tour thing as opposed to time travel?
I think it makes a lot more sense because for time travel, like I get both of them. Cuz time travel alright, so we're going to, like, you know, Roman Colosseum, the Ice Ages, like, you know, futuristic shit. Like, that's where the time travel thing sort of makes sense. But then, like, you know, you got the other weird stuff. And, like, some of Coco's levels is just, like, I mean, it's, like, like, you know, like, the Great Wall of China, it's, like, is that actually time travel, or you're just going to the Great Wall of China?
Well, because, okay,
like,
to be fair, it looks like in that level, they're building the Great Wall of China.
Okay,
that's what it looks like to me, because you have gaps, big spots where it's not finished. And that actually leads me into something I wanted to say really quickly. I think where the misconception is happening is that the point, at least how I'm looking at it, the point is we're going to these locations in different time periods. We're not just going to, for the time, modern day Egypt. Likely, it's just not made clear, but in my theory is we're going to Egypt when the pharaoh was like
ancient
Egypt, or, you know, we're going to Arabia because Aladdin, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that one I don't really know. That one I don't know. And, like, you wouldn't even be able to tell that, like the Ice Ages were the Ice Ages unless Dingo had said it.
Yeah.
Like, so
The Roman Colosseum, it's just, I don't think it's really used for that kind of thing now, but back when it was, like, with the lions and the gladiator fights, like, that's the exact time period in
Yes.
Rome that they go to. Obviously, the future levels speak for themselves. The future hasn't happened yet. In the future, Cortex took over, and that's why that
The
looks
future
the way
that
it
we
does.
want.
For one big-headed man to single-handedly dictate everything we do.
That's what we want.
But yeah, I guess that just wasn't made very clear. And yeah, the Great Wall of China, I guess it's when it was being made. Little things like that. But of course, gameplay is what mattered, so they didn't really bother to tell. It's visual storytelling, but it's something that's on the more subtle side. So I guess they just didn't catch that, and they said, well, they're traveling, at face value, they're traveling to different locations. Therefore, these are places around the globe. Therefore, we're going to build this as a world tour game.
Yeah. Like, what are the other Coco levels supposed to be? Like, like the, the wave runner ones, like the, is that the pirate era?
So,
like,
that's
are
right.
we in One Piece?
The Great Pirate Era.
The Great Pirate, exactly.
Well, I figure, because, I know you don't have, like, a mini boss fight against a pirate in those levels, but, like, you would think it's, around the time of, like, pirates sailing the seas and, like, the, I don't know, fucking 1700s or some shit. Or even the plane levels. You're having dogfights in the air, like, with blimps and shit. That was probably from, like, a war of some kind, like a world war or something else. Like, one of those, like, you gotta think. And it's not, and for those things to be made explicitly clear in a kid's game, they can't really do that. But to generalize it as, like, oh, well, you're just, in a plane. You're shooting blimps, whatever. Like, it just makes for fun gameplay. Gameplay is what they were thinking of at the forefront, I feel.
Yeah. Other than that, it's alright. The colors are nice.
Yeah, well, for sure. It definitely is very colorful. It's a nice... There's an abundance of, like, blue and green because of the earth, the sky, Crash and Coco on BBT, the logo.
Yeah.
So
it's very blue, green, yellow,
very
red.
earthy. Yeah, quite nice.
Oh, CTR.
CTR. Am I the only one that thinks it's redundant that Crash is on there twice?
It is pretty weird.
It's cool, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's weird. I like this. This is a really nice box art.
It's iconic. I love it.
Yeah.
The checkerboard pattern, the flag in the back, and I'm gonna zoom in real quick. Is that Papu's pyramid reflected on the trophy? I think it is. I've always wondered what was the image they were using for the reflector on that. It's so freaking shiny. I love how you can see his nose as well. Crash's nose and part of his hand, like his fingers, wrapping around the trophy. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I think it is a little silly that he's on the box twice. Cortex looks weird. Cortex is...
He does look weird. Cortex has always looked weird in this game.
These are the very last renders for all of these characters that Naughty Dog ever did. And for Cortex, I don't know if it's just his fucking face or, like, his hair is longer and stringier than it's ever been.
It's his weird long hair that, like, just always gets me. It's like, why is it just, like... Like, how did it grow so much?
Do you think that if he took a shower and was doing his hair, that it would all just fall down and he would have, like, beautiful hair in the back, like a mullet?
Yeah. If you pour water on him right now, that's what it would look like.
He immediately, all the fucking curliness just comes right out. That's how that works.
Yeah. I really love the colors here. Like, it, they all pop against the checkerboard background.
Yeah, I like that everyone gets their own cart color. I like that they branded it as CTR first and foremost, and they have to tell you at the bottom what that stands for.
Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, Crash gets the blue The Cortex gets the evil red, and Coco gets the girly pink.
Yeah.
All so the stereotypes know who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, I believe this is the first one. I want to say this is the first one. It's not. We forgot to mention it, but Crash 3 was the first one where K through A was ditched, and now we have E for everyone.
Yeah. It's
the
finally
logo
for
itself,
everyone, guys.
It is. It's not just kids through adults. Seniors, you have been cast away for far too long, and now you're included.
You've been promoted to the world of playing video games.
Which, I mean, I can say from personal experience, yes, my grandma and grandpa did either play or help me play Crash, so, you know.
Cool.
But, yeah, it's iconic. It's very simplistic, but it's really cool, and it just gets into the spirit of racing. And I'm going to just, you know, rip this bandit off, too, real quick. It's not gonna be a very long tirade at all, but everyone says fucking Crash Team Racing is just a fucking Mario Kart ripoff. Like, if anything, it's a Diddy Kong Racing ripoff, because in every interview and any sense of anything you can find of Jason, Evan Wells, Andy Gavin, Mark Cerny, anyone, they never mentioned Mario Kart. As far as I'm aware, they always mentioned Diddy Kong Racing, because that's where they got the idea to do the adventure mode. One of the like pirate themed levels, they recreated that to test out how this would work on the PlayStation. For all intents and purposes, if you need to call it a clone, which you shouldn't. No one called fucking Mario Kart. I don't know which one came out first, but no one called Diddy Kong Racing a Mario Kart clone or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, why do it for Crash? Like, that's just fucking rude.
That's just rude.
That's unnecessary. I always hate when they always say that Crash rips Mario off, but Mario never does any wrong when they clearly took from like C and K and shit like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, rant over.
Yeah.
Fun racing game. Love it.
Yeah, it is fun. I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. I can't go back to it now because the controls are just too clunky, but and I'm very used to Nitro Field. But
makes sense.
Yeah, it was always fun, and I did like I liked going to the different areas in the adventure mode.
Oh yes, for sure. It was always cool just driving around there.
And you liked quoting Aku Aku.
Yeah, if you get a TNT crate on your head, I can't do it right now.
If you get a TNT crate on
Start
your
hopping
head.
immediately. If you react fast and hop enough times, the TNT crate will fall off your head before it explodes. I still know it. It might not be 100% accurate, but it's very close. It's like 99.7% accurate.
0.7.
I might have had like a word or two that I either left out or said wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
But
logo's nice. Got the ring around it, and then the CTR. Very fun.
I love this game.
I love this game.
So yeah, Europe this time around didn't change it around too much, but we do have one Crash. So
yeah, this is not bad.
Cortex continues to look weird, but that's not Europe's fault. For once, it's not a it's not a weird like who the hell made this.
In fact, he actually looks more normal here than he does on the other one.
He looks
his hair isn't like completely sticking out like to extreme lengths.
It's just really weird to see him do like a hero type pose. You never really see a villain
he's
like you never see a villain wink and give a thumbs up. That's usually Crash's job, or like Coco's or some shit.
I know. Why isn't she doing that?
She's supposed to look cute. She's like, "Hello, I'm here too."
I can't give a thumbs up. No. It's my job to be like, I'm here too. I am girl.
God, seeing Nitro Field, I mean, yeah, we're gonna get there way later, but that just makes me so glad that there are so many female characters now in the Crash series, because Coco was the only one for the longest time. After girlfriend who from the first game, Tawna.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Tawna.
But it's the exact same premise. They just got rid of one Crash and gave these two characters some different poses. There's different renders, and the It's the same exact conveyance. It's a racing game.
Yeah, it's the same. The only thing that's weird is Cortex looking like he's a good guy.
His lip looks weird.
Yeah, he's like. It looks like he's biting his lip, like he's like.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Fucking meanwhile, this one, Crash Bandicoot Racing. Well, at least in Japan you have Bandicoot back in white letters, but
yeah, Crash Bandicoot Racing. Oh, you can see Dingo in the back. That's nice.
Dingo and Polar and Tiny. I'm assuming it's Tiny.
Wait, where's Tiny?
Way off in the back, he's like a blur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one right there.
And then at the top, is that Engine? Yeah, it's Engine.
Oh, it is Engine. What the hell?
Yeah, he's up there.
He's going, ow!
Ow!
Why is he flying? Where's his cart? Oh, wait!
He's got a...
Is that his cart? No, because that's not his color. Or is it? What's Engine's color? I can't remember.
I don't know what his color is, but it looks like he's on...
It's light green, isn't it?
I think. It looks like he's on a flying vehicle.
That's
looks
definitely
like he's on a flying saucer.
Yeah, well, that's his ass, first off.
Is that his ass?
And his little feet going... Wheel.
Okay.
Something else
that's
is in the...
ass, first off.
Something else is in the background. I can't tell what the hell that is. And then you have... okay, that is somebody in a cart. It's probably Tiny. I can't tell.
It looks like Engine just flew off his cart. And he's just like flying through the air now.
Well, this is my life.
This might as well happen.
This might as well happen. My life's already so goddamn weird. Coco's launching herself in the air as well.
Yeah.
They did keep the checkered flag in the back though. That's pretty cool.
Like everyone's going out of bounds except for like Crash and everyone behind him are actually like remaining on the path, and then like Coco's just doing her own thing. In the back there. She's not even like on the road. She's in the air. She
doesn't look like she's, because I think what they were trying to convey was like, oh, when you jump off a ramp, you do like a cool little pose and you slam back down and you get a boost. But she's not even like doing a cool pose. She's like, hi, I'm on the ground, but she's not.
Yeah. And then Engine looks like he just completely messed up the ramp jump.
It ejected him out of his seat.
Yeah.
Are they in Papu's pyramid? Because it kind of looks like that. But I'm not sure.
It could be.
Yeah, we have like a whole ass scenario going on here, which is cool. I like it. It's not too like the way some of the Japanese box arts get. It's not too like information overload. It's just the right amount of like, you can see they're in a race and Crash is, mugging at the camera as always.
Yeah. He's giving a thumbs up like you should.
Yep. Instead of Cortex.
Yeah. Someone had to give a thumbs up because Crash was busy holding the trophy.
Yeah, true. That is very true. Beyond that, though,
it's a little bit cluttered, but it's kind of fun in its own way.
Yeah. This is, yeah, I would say as much. Still very fun. I gotta go back and finish this one. I have all the PS1 games, the Japanese versions, and I have to go through this one because I didn't beat it fully.
Nice.
Oop, everyone's favorite. Bash. Everyone's favorite.
I've never played Bash.
If you ever do, don't listen to what anyone says. Just play the mini games you want to play and have fun with those. That's all you need. No need to go for fucking 200% or whatever. Okay, rant over. Crash Bash. The Mario Party Club. Whatever. Fuck off. It's fun. I like it. First one, not done by Naughty Dog. This was Eurocom. I want to say the Japanese version of CTR, we have, or even like Crash 3, we have a good variety here. There's a scenario happening. We have a showcase of different minigames. Crash on the Pogo, Coco being the shit out of Cortex for some reason with Polar.
Yeah.
Tiny's
touching Polar's butt.
Tiny's blasting a little spike ball from his tank at Crash, and they're all on the Space Bash themed minigame.
Yeah. I like the logo too. I like the stars.
Yeah, I always like the logo. I like the red outline around the Crash.
Yeah.
Logo. Crash and Bash'em.
Crashly Bashley.
Yeah. You got a blue sky. It's very blue. Let me see. Yeah, how do you feel about the fact that there's actually not much happening with the sky? You probably could have shown like a couple more things. Because
the sky just looks like an oil painting that they slapped on there.
Yeah, Bob Ross painting. Because half of the lower half is everything going on there, and then the upper half is like the character's faces, the logo, the sky. Nothing else is really happening up there. There's like a little bit of negative space in the right hand corner. You could have put like Oxide there or something because he is in this game.
You could have put Engine flying up there for no reason.
That too. You could have had like one of there's one of those like, what are they called? For lack of a better word, the ball mini games, like the beach ball or whatever it's called, or the other ball, the one with the engines in that one. But there's one that takes place in the air. You could have put that there, like the whole ass arena, or something. That pong ass, I don't know what else to call it. Like fucking put the balls in the goal. It's one of those ones.
I really like the placement of that spiked ball. It's just kind of there, but it looks like it's supposed to be there. I don't know. It's really weird when I think of Crash Bash. For some reason I think of that spiked ball.
I like the detail and the texturing on that spiked ball. Shit's really fucking detailed. Yeah, I always liked playing as Tiny because he was the powerhouse character. Koala Kong was as well, but Tiny I just gravitated more towards. I guess because I like playing as the heroes. And even though Tiny's not exactly a hero, he has to be for story reasons in this game. He and Dingodile. But Tiny, yeah. I think Crash and Coco had like a straight forward blast. Cortex had something weird about his tank, and Brio as well. But Koala Kong and Tiny shot these little spike balls out, which traveled slow but did a lot of damage if you came into contact with them.
What is Cortex doing?
Being smacked. At first I didn't know what it was, but when I looked at it more, he's being smacked by Polar.
Oh, okay. Because it looks like he's just like, aha! And like he's just kind of in their way. Looks like he's just being an asshole and he's in their way.
He's like, aye! But, yeah, because he's smiling, but with Coco looking a little like, haha, and then like Polar looks pissed. She's like using him to like.
It looks like he's trying. It looks like he's reaching out to Coco. She's like, "Get away from me, you weirdo!"
That's funny. We have the European one, which is just more of the same. It's just restructured a little differently. I guess this is one way to deal with that problem. You aim the camera more at the floor with the negative space.
The spike ball is bigger.
Spike ball's bigger. You can see more of the background. Coco and Cortex and Polar have all been moved. There's one single little tile missing because that's the space bashness of the floor. They're showcasing the bash minigames with the crates and everything. Crash still marking the floor with the pogo stick. So it's the same exact assets, just rearranged a bit. It's kind of like what was it? Crash 2 kind of. Yeah. Literally nothing new to say about this besides everything's been rearranged a little bit. There's more of the floor being shown, so therefore, whereas in the American box art it was like 50-50, like the floor and the characters and then the sky, now it's like 70-30.
The missing tile should have been placed in the middle rather than the side, like by Crash's face. I don't know why, it just seems so random.
Yeah, probably so you could see it a bit more. Like the tile literally right underneath like where the star is, and like a little past like where the spike ball is. I like that one tile right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same exact logo, or same exact box art rather.
Yeah, just different placements. It's okay.
The next one is batshit crazy.
see this. Oh my god, what is happening?
Crash Bandicoot Carnival. Let's go.
Carnival. Oh my god, everybody's here.
Everybody's here. So they kept Tiny in the tank. They kept Coco on Polar, so that's cool. Penta question mark is here.
Just random penguin.
Well, it's because one of the bash levels has you like on ice, and there's a little penguin that appears, and he'll start like spinning around and shit. So he's probably that penguin.
What is going on with the Aku and Uka? They're just like, ah!
Yeah, that's just their designs. Like they gave Aku like pupils, which is really weird, and then Uka's like having a fucking fit in the corner. I don't know what Brie was doing. He's in the air having the time of his life.
He's in the same placement as Engine and the Cesaro one.
Does he have I think he has a jetpack on, which that would be accurate to the Pogo thing. That's the Pogo rep right there because Cortex and Brio don't use a Pogo. They just hop with their little jetpacks. So that could be that. But yeah, it's a party. This is a party game. You can tell with all the balloons and the fucking confetti and everything. Crash always looked weird on this cover because even though he's doing the typical thumbs up thing, also he's gonna lob a TNT at your fucking face.
Yeah.
He
looks like really short and stocky.
Yeah, it's the perspective on his legs and his feet. He looks like Rayman.
He does.
Like on the Rayman 1 like PS1 box cover, he looks like that. He's doing a weird little like step forward thing.
What's going on with the Koala Kong's face?
He's like, is he just flexing? Like, what's he doing? I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just chilling there.
Dingo looks funny too.
Rillaroo looks confused. Is he in a thing? Oh, he might be on the Pogo, but we can't see it very clearly.
Oh yeah, he's on a Pogo.
Okay.
Actually, it looks like he's on a scooter.
It does. It looks like a scooter. It looks like a scooter.
It's Pogo.
Look at all those Wumpas. Oh, I'm sorry.
Apples.
Ringo.
Oh. Why?
And Coco's just pointing at nothing.
Over there!
Over there! We gotta go!
Quickly! Make haste, crew!
Quickly, my steed!
The Polar's like, Mark? What? Hello?
I like the bling bling that the logo's got going on.
Yeah, like it's a performance. Like show lights and it's all bedazzled.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot Showtime.
I mean, I think that those are curtains, like in the back, right, between Bandicoot and Carnival.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Like it's a little stage. Yeah, it's cool. Plus, this has a banger-ass take on the Japanese Crash theme song. It's so fucking good.
Cool. Okay. Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex.
There he is. There he is with his wrath. Off to the side.
Crash is on the PS2.
And he's in a mech.
And he's in a mech. Sorry, actually, it's Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex.
The wrath. Yeah, those little trailing things are weird. I never understood those. I also never understood.
It's like a bunch of eyes.
Yeah.
Eye.
The wrath. I never understood what's swirling around in the logo in that thing. Again, we have another thing behind the Crash Bandicoot title.
Yeah, what is that? I can't tell if that's like supposed to be some kind of elemental thing or I don't know.
It's water. Like there's water in there because it's splashing out. There's water. There's what I'm assuming these are rocks. I could tell the elements. I guess that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
I suppose. There's Crunch looking all big and threatening and mysterious.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I wonder who that is.
I don't know. Also, Cortex looks super generic on that little screen.
What if it was the Cortex from Generator Room from Crash 1?
That'd be funnier.
No N on the forehead, he's just staring at you dead-eyed.
What if it was his actual model in this game?
That'd be pretty funny. I mean, considering the fact that that's Crash's Wrath of Cortex model, sort of.
Yeah.
They made great renders, I want to say. Like, from here to, like, most of the GBA games, and for whatever reason, on Nitro Cards box arts as well, which we'll get to later, you see, for the most part, this Crash, this is the Wrath of Cortex Crash, they used this render for quite a while. Despite it being Traveler's Tales, Vivi would get their hands on this as well.
Yeah.
The mech is supposed to be a reference to Aliens, especially the areas you go around with that mech. It's all dark and creepy and spooky looking. Got some badass music. And yeah, the space, again, is very exemplified here.
Space. Yeah.
We're on a space
the Final
station.
Frontier.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I like the general, look of the background and mysterious shadow
Yeah.
in the white light.
Being bathed in the white light.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it definitely screams PS2 title.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, again, I just want to talk a good game for the Crash render because it looks like a very nice natural evolution from like the render we've been seeing for like Crash 3 or like CTR or Bash especially. I mean, who knows? This could have been a Eurocom render that they just had the assets for and had the stuff for after Universal gave this to them.
Right. I've never played this game.
You should, because it's actually quite fun. It has its annoying bits, of course, but, it's not as bad as everyone says it is. Everyone likes to go, it's fucking Crash 3 but bad. And it's like, well, yeah, if you think about it in one fucking tunnel vision way. But otherwise, it's solid for what it is. And it is a game that can be played from beginning to end without very many issues, unlike its counterpart, Enter the Dragonfly.
Yeah, but it is technically the poor man's Crash 3.
Because of how safe they played it, and there's a whole backstory to that, which I've talked about in previous videos. So, Mark Cerny was supposed to head this project, and then that didn't pan out.
Alright, well, other than that, box art's fine.
This next one's a little weird. This is the PAL one. It looks quite dark. If I can find a better one, if I can find a better one by the time you're watching this and listening to this, then hopefully I can find one that's not as dark. But this was clearly like this is just the image. It's not the box art is not that dark, but the image is. If you go back and forth between these two really fast, actually, you'll see that the assets once again were kind of moved around. The lights on the floor are a little different. Crash is like a little bumped up. Cortex is a little, the logo's a little bigger.
Yeah.
So that's kind of strange.
Other than that, it's the same.
It's the exact same. You're right. Not too much there. I mean, we could just skip literally right to the Japanese one because that one's actually quite different.
Oh my god.
Here's another example of look at all this cool shit.
So this is Crash Bandicoot 4.
Yeah.
Cortex Strikes Ass.
I like this one.
Okay. Let me see. Sakuretsu? Fuck, I can't read that kanji.
With what you can read, can you make an educated guess as to what it says?
What? Hold on, what? I'm trying to see, like, what? Is that pa? Is it a circle? All I could read is the Sakuretsu. Pawa. Okay, something about power.
Cortex's power.
It's definitely something about power. I remember that Sakuretsu is very similar to explosion. So it's this. Yeah, I remember that Sakuretsu is the same, pretty much the same as Bakuhatsu. So it's like exploding something power, because I don't know what the kanji says.
Well, the mysticism is gone. That's Crunch. You can see him clearly. There's Coco. And her little...
Yeah.
Her little...
Crunch is like, hello.
Wow, who's that guy? He's not even framed as the villain, which is funny.
I know, he's just framed as like a side character.
Yeah.
Who happens to be here for no reason.
Coco's waving at the camera in her little
Coco's
space.
eyes scare me.
They're huge. She has huge eyes. That little spaceship, either that's the one that she's in for the one and only space level that you play as her in, or it's referencing how she uses a spaceship at the end for the 100% ending to save Crash and Crunch and Aku.
Okay. Why do the like the underside of the mech there, like the part right above Crunch's head,
Yeah.
and Coco's head, I guess, why does it look like toilet paper rolls?
Toilet paper rolls.
That's, I don't know why, but I looked at that and I immediately thought toilet paper rolls.
That is so... That was so funny.
Just toilet paper on the roll.
Yeah, it's that joint thing. It's like it can roll and like it can like bend like an arm, like an actual person's arm.
Yeah.
That's like the elbow, essentially. But yeah, that's
seriously
that's
just looks like
funny.
toilet paper. Like there's just like Crunch is like, all right, I gotta take a shit.
Oh, excuse me.
And then he reaches above his head and then gets him.
What would you do if you were on the toilet and the fucking paper towel roll was right above your head, mounted on the wall?
I'd be like, oh, shit, I can't.
You can't reach it. To make you get up so you can reach it. That'd be bad.
I would hate that.
What is that blurry ass? Is that like fucking Saturn or something on the left? Or is it like a blurry... It's a blurry something. Or the right... Sorry, the right. Something blurry.
That thing that's like right above the 4.
Not above the 4. It's by the Universal logo.
Oh, right, the big orange thing. Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like
just a
Saturn or Jupiter, but it's like...
Yeah, it's just a planet. A blurry planet.
The thing above the 4 is, in fact, I think one of the things you shoot down is Coco or something.
Oh, got it.
It's a space thing, for sure. But yeah, no, what all these box arts encompass is that it's space themed, and that's very true in this one. So, you know, more space aesthetics for Crash. It's pretty cool. And he stays in the mech, so that is unified across all the box arts as well.
Crash's face is huge. It's like, ah!
Hello!
I am main character.
Oh, here we go. Huge Adventure. Very iconic. Very nostalgic for me. It's my first, one of my first Game Boy games.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd think Cortex would do some shit like that, but he doesn't. Also, for some reason, his sleeves are very long. Also,
yeah,
it's either that...
Oh, you're right.
It's either that or he's not wearing any gloves because you can see his fingernails and it's really creepy.
Yeah, he's got long sleeves and no gloves.
It's really weird.
He's wearing a completely different outfit. I like the logo, the big, circular, is that like a
tribal...
What is that? Wooden...
Like board.
Like a shield? Looks like a shield.
It does look like a tribal shield, and then you get the arrows coming through.
Crash doesn't look like he's actually jumping over that pit.
Yeah, he's running over it. Maybe it's not a pit. It looks like a fucking earthquake because it's splitting. It's actively splitting underneath him.
Yeah.
You can see the rubble
It
falling
still doesn't
down.
look like he's jumping, though. And he looks pretty happy to be almost dead.
Yeah, but my point is, I don't think he even knows. Like, it probably wasn't a pit. As he was running, he was probably splitting as he was running.
Yeah, he's not aware of what's happening beneath him.
Blissfully unaware. Crash
having
now...
the time of his life.
Yeah. I hope you can hear well because he now has hair coming out of his ears. This is a really strange detail. This is just another souped up like Wrath render, I mean, it's a little less detailed because he doesn't have all the sewing, the little sew lines in his pants. He doesn't have his belt, but everything else is pretty much exactly from like the Wrath renders you would see in the promos. But now he has hair in his ears, and that's very bizarre.
Putting just more detail into it.
Yeah. Doesn't really tell you so much from the visuals what the game is, but I like, of course, the title, The Huge Adventure, because it's playing with that thing of, okay, well, Cortex is big, but only because he shrank the world. So now you're going on this huge adventure to confront him.
I would like it if everything else was the same size, but Cortex was just big.
He just made himself grow instead of shrinking the earth. That'd be funny. That's kind of what it conveys here, to be honest, because nothing else looks shrunken. He looks
you wouldn't
big.
know.
Yeah.
Actually, Crash looks kind of big. They both
because
he's
coming straight to the camera. They both grew.
What if they both grew and just started fighting?
Pacific Rim ass fight. You know what? That'd be kind of cool. That's Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, actually.
Crash and Cortex fighting on a mountaintop.
That'd be cool. Nothing really different for the European one. If you want to go to that real quick, of course, the only real difference being Crash Bandicoot XS.
XS.
Yeah, we're starting to have that issue. Thankfully for Crash games, it's not nearly as egregious as for Spyro, because this is the first time that we're getting, for the Crash series, that we're getting, a European name change.
Yeah.
Extra small. It still fits in line. It's just boring. Like, The Huge Adventure. It sounds grand. It sounds, like, really cool. It does reinforce the fact that Cortex isn't big. Everything else got shrunk. But, I mean, it's the fucking size you see on a shirt tag. This is not a Crash fucking title.
What does XS stand for?
Extra small? Yeah.
It really does just stand for extra small here?
Yeah.
I mean, but why? Like, I mean,
yeah,
I get
exactly.
I get that everything is shrunk, like, I'm sure, but Crash Bandicoot, extra small. Like, what?
That sounds like it belongs, like, they didn't have any because it was just another little tiny Game Boy Advance, but if the Game Boy Micro had its own exclusive line of games, this would be on there. Just with that fucking title. Crash Bandicoot XS on the Game Boy Micro.
Crash Bandicoot Micro.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Other than that, it's the exact same art. It's just, I don't like the title.
Yeah.
Meanwhile...
What this conveys even less of what it's about. In fact, Crash looks like he's the one who grew, and then Cortex is the one who shrank.
Yeah, Cortex is looking angrily at the title, like, why is it Crash's Adventure? It should be me.
Yeah, so this is Crash Bandicoot Advance.
Yes, cool. Oh yeah, I see. We're doing the same thing as Spyro Season of Ice.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't really tell you what's happening other than it's on Game Boy.
It's on Game Boy Advanced.
Crash Bandicoot Advanced. I mean, they kind of, like, what's he searching for? Where's Cortex?
He's searching for Cortex because he can't find him. He's so small.
Yeah, that is very bizarre. I don't know if they really got the memo for what's happening in this one. I mean, he's on a path in the forest. That's accurate to the other two.
It's like they told him what it was about.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so Cortex grew because he shrunk the world, and they're just like, Crash grew?
Gotcha.
And Cortex shrunk everything? Alright, got it. And they're like, no, wait. But they already drew it.
No, wait. Oh, okay.
And they modeled it and rendered it.
Yeah. So, again, there's not much to write home about for this one. It's the same premise, kind of. But it is a little lost in translation. So.
Yeah, it's like, what's he searching for? Huh.
Well, there you are. Cortex. That Cortex render, actually, funny enough, I think they used something similar to that for the Crash Party USA minigame and the Spyro Party one as well.
Yeah.
If you put in Crash Purple or Spyro Orange and you hold down the L and R, you get upon boot up, you go into that little minigame and like weird renders just fly around for no reason. And I think there's one of Cortex like peeping around like that.
That's funny.
Equally as iconic for me and nostalgic is the Crash Entranced box art.
This is kind of cool.
I like it.
I like how Coco's just hanging on in the background, like, oh!
She's like, oh! That I believe is a Wrath of Cortex render, because she looks a little weird.
Yeah.
I believe there's an image or a render of her on her scooter like that, so I think that's where they ripped it from. Crash is looking all silly, and he's falling through this little warpy dealio. You got the new villain. You got Entrance right there, and he's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, a subtle 2, just like with Spyro Season of Flame. A little subtle 2 off to the side to show this is the direct sequel to the other Game Boy title.
I like the font of Entranced.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all digital looking and shit. I like the gears that make up the logo.
Yeah.
And you got the little, like, springy, like, screws coming out.
What is Entrance standing on?
You know what? I have no fucking clue. It's a little...
It looks like they just placed him on the box.
He's on a, like I don't believe he's on that in the game itself, but it's like a little hover board, little hover device. Okay. I'm assuming it looks like it has a little warpy, like swirly pattern, the way like how his chest has that swirly pattern. It looks like you can't really see it too well, but I think when he's standing on the little hover thing, I think it has a little swirly pattern on it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like, he seems like the type of villain who would ride around on one of those things.
This is also the first and only time we see his little clock hand. His little snapper, little clock hand.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like the blue and green swirl.
Yeah, like I wonder what they did for that. If it's just a swirly, colorful texture, because you can see streaks of like orange and like yellow and like white. So I'm wondering if this was like an image they put a swirl effect on, or if this is just they did the effect first and then made it all colorful and shit after. I'm not really sure. But it's zany, it's wacky, it's really cool looking.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then we get this where
no, this is like modern DVD box art where it's just the character's face.
Okay, well, I also need to now bring up, because you said that you did say some video game covers of that look okay, but I guess this is one that doesn't for you.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look right here. It looks good on like the Enter the Dragonfly box art looked good. I always liked that one, but like this just looks weird.
See, to me it's so funny you say that, because you could barely see the background. At least here you can. It's another swirly pattern, but it's all blue, which is fine. I like the color blue, but like there's not much going on here. Like, why did you omit everyone and everything else that was swirling around Crash, and you just popped Crash into the front and center, like you blew him up 70%?
Yeah, I think I would prefer not to see the background. Like if they were gonna do this, they should have like blown up Crash even more, and it'd just been his eye.
Just his singular eye. Don't know how to feel about the logo, because we've taken that subtle 2 and we've slapped it right in the fucking center as if it's Cortex Strikes Back. It's also a different font, and it's the Crash yellow font for this too.
So something that I just noticed right now is like if you zoom in and then you go over here, like the gray between his fingers here, it's like they cut out this image from like another background and they just forgot to remove that.
Is that how they do the render? That's probably they do the renders and they probably forgot to do that part. Oh my god, are you serious? I didn't even see that until you pointed that out. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, as like, you know, as somebody who does all the PNGs for you and stuff, I know exactly what that's like.
That's fucking weird. Also, let me just check something. Okay, that's just his shadow. Okay. I was like, what about his underarm down there? But no, that's just a shadow of him. Um, that's fucking hilarious. I'm never gonna be able to unsee that now. He has a small tongue. I don't like that. It's really weird. It just juts out
I
of his
don't
mouth.
like his expression. He's just like,
So,
ah!
so that's the funny thing. I was actually going to mention that. Now that he looked cool when he was like upside down because it looked like he was swirling and rotating around. But when you put him right side up right here, it makes his weird mouth more noticeable. He's just like,
Yeah.
ooh, like I don't know how to explain it. His weird smile, like the way they rendered his mouth is fucking weird.
Yeah, they should have kept him upside down.
And then you see his weird tongue. Like it's this really small tongue that just juts out of the open mouth. It's really fucking weird. I don't really care for this box art. Again,
I don't like his like chunky kind of muscular arms. Like, what's going on there?
I'm really sorry again, Europe. I don't mean to shit on your box arts some more, but I mean, what is this? Oh god. At least they learned. Japan knew what to do, and they actually, if anything, they made it more clear as to what Entrance is standing on, and everything looks pretty much. It's very inspired by the American box art.
Coco's really hanging on to the logo.
She's like, whoa! Plus her but they even did what the American box art didn't do, and they even put swirls in her eyes to tease that something's happening to Coco.
Yeah.
I have to fight her.
So, let's see what this one says.
Crash Bandicoot Advance 2 something.
Advance 2. Kuru Kuru. Sign. Sign. Let me see. Kuru. Okay, whirling, revolving, spinning. Okay, that makes sense. Kuru Kuru mean hypnosis. Okay, swirling, hypnosis. Paniku. Oh, like swirling, hypnosis, big panic. Yeah.
That sounds about right. That's funny.
Yeah. Like, oh no, the swirly hypnosis man.
Watch out for that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever actually hovers on that in the game itself. I can't recall him doing that. I'm trying to think of like his boss fight, and I don't think No, he doesn't do that. That's weird. Anyway, I like Crash's pose. It's very evocative of the pose on the Crash 2 Japanese box art.
Although his hand looks weird, like the one that's like at the front there, and the one in the back. Actually, he looks like he's like, eh. Like,
he has crinkled magic fingers.
Yeah, his fingers are extremely long.
That's kind of. I mean, if you look at even the American like PS1 era Crash renders, his fingers just look weird in general. They wouldn't really get better until like later PS2 era games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like this one because even though it is still blue, like it has the best of both worlds. It has the stark blue swirly background like in the European art. It's a much better shade of blue. You got different shades of blue in there, which I like. And then you have Entrance and Coco in there. The logo looks more in line. That too is from the American logo. But they kind of put it after, the Advance and after, Crash the way the European one does. And then, like I said, you have Entrance and Coco there, like in the American box art. So they kind of took what made the other two work, or what, looked all right enough from the European one, and they mashed everything together.
The other thing I don't like is I think the background is too dark of a blue. I think it should be a little bit lighter.
Oh, you think it's too dark? I think it's fine.
I mean, it's a nice blue color, but I think it's like just a little bit too dark.
Because I wouldn't want it to be like personally like too overly light blue the way the European one is.
Yeah,
it looks like
a little bit.
It looks like I didn't say this until I looked at it back right now. The European one looks like he's in a toilet, like he's being flushed on a toilet. It's too watery looking, but
I guess to me it seems very like sky-ish more than water. This seems more water to me.
I suppose. But at least all three of them have the theme of this swirly background, and it's even incorporated into the subtitle of the Japanese one here.
I like how Entrance is like touching Crash's hand. He's like, oh yes.
He's like,
It looks like he's gonna punch him out of the way.
like Entrance is tiny, and he's gonna punch him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's like, wait. Stop.
Okay, we're here.
Okay, we're here.
Gotta grease up them palms. I've got a lot to say about what's happening with some of the stuff going on here. Crash Nitro Kart, fun game, great game. Wrong renders.
Yeah, I like the logo. The Nitro Kart looks good. The red with the yellow outline.
Yes.
And the tire.
The tire is really cool.
Engine thing, yeah.
What is it? The tire says something specific too. What does that shit say?
I don't
it's
know.
like Crash Performance Radials or some shit. It says at the top there.
I don't know.
So how it's like the Lightyear tires or like stuff like that. It's like one of those things where it's like the brand of the tire. That's cool. Because they didn't have to do that at all, but they decided to anyway. Okay, so let me do my thing. Or actually, you know what? First, how do you like that they show out of time here? Because I think it's really cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that. The background's very... It's very deserty.
It shows the anti-gravity. The weird thing I never understood is why are the numbers the wrong way around?
Oh.
It's not mirrored. They were put in the opposite counterclockwise order. I don't...
Oh, you're right. That is weird.
That is very strange. But apart from that, Out of Time was like the one, like the location. I've talked about this before, like in the Spyro Boxart episodes, where they'll take a central location and that's like the focus of the marketing for like where they are, or the big push to show whatever features the game may boast. Like right here, it's the anti-gravity, so it's Coco, and I want to say it's Tiny or Crunch. No, that might be. It's an entrance car. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. Anyway, epic return of Oxide, which is cool.
Yeah, even though he's not the main villain.
Yeah, exactly. You would think, and I think that was probably put there on purpose for like, hey, he's back, but he's not the main focus.
He's back, but you'll barely see him.
True. He snickers a little bit in the opening cutscene when they land on Vilo's planet, but other than that, that's yeah. I do like that his entire team is not his team. Sorry, because Entrance is in this one. He makes his first console appearance here, and Entrance, his entire team is made up of brainwashed like heroes and villains alike. You have Polar, Pura, and Dingo. It's a really weird team, but they've all been brainwashed to race for him.
Wow.
And then of course Oxide sides with the aliens. It's been because they show Oxide after Vilo says what I'm about to say. I think it was Oxide, which is how you know this is a direct sequel to CTR, where Oxide tells Vilo of these Earthlings, and so because he says like tales of your racing prowess has reached the ears of my empire or some shit, and it pans down and you see Oxide. So I think Oxide phoned in someone to help him out. Hey, big bro, take care of these idiots for me.
Yeah.
And Vilo's like, okay, well, I've never lost a race, so I'm gonna fucking take control here.
I've never lost.
I hate Vilo so much. Is there anything else you have to say?
Do you accept?
Do you accept? Welcome to Crash Natural Kart. Do you accept?
Do you accept the game?
Yeah.
Crash's render is weird. I like the way the cart looks.
He's like,
It looks nice. His arms look, I don't know if they're foreshortened properly. They just kind of look short.
They do look really short and stocky. It's a weird perspective thing happening there. I like how Cortex's cart looks like a half like bike, like a motorcycle.
Yeah. Well, he's just coming around the corner.
He has handlebars.
I mean, it's... I don't know, like the colors are odd. I find like I don't know, maybe the desert setting wasn't the best.
For like what? Like how so?
Just like for like this box. I don't know. Like I don't know, something about like, maybe they could have used a better level to show off. Cuz something about it just seems odd and the colors seem weird.
Okay. All right. So, this is really weird. We have like so many versions of. So, yeah, the Crash and Cortex renders are both from Retro Cortex. I don't know why they didn't use the NitroKart ones, but there's that. We go over to the PAL region, and they kind of took a page from CTR's book. You have them, and even Crash 1 for that matter. They're ripping through the checker background. For some reason, Crash has a weird, ugly number 1 plastered onto his cart.
That part's weird. But other than that, I like the placement of the characters here.
It's cool.
Like,
it's cool.
The placement's good. I like the throwback to the checkered background. That's fine. The logo, something is weird about the logo.
The logo's different.
I don't know why the Crash is like covering the fire.
Yeah.
The fire and the flames.
So the Crash, lettering was, because again, these are all just layers on a composition. So when they were doing the logo, on ours, the H on Crash was not covering like this, like, what's a fucking, I know cars parts, exhaust pipe thing that NitroKart is resting on. For the PAL region, it is, and I don't know why. As much as I appreciate how it's like CTR, comparatively, I think it's a little more generic, because I like ours so much. Then you get, and I'm sorry, this is the best picture I could find, you get another weird alternate take on this box art where NitroKart's in blue.
Whoa.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what region, and I've seen, for the PAL region, because the PAL can mean many different things. It's not just the European region. It could be like Sweden, I think, and like Scotland, and like other places like that aren't necessarily connected to the UK, but like I don't know what the fuck region this comes from. But everything looks relatively normal except for the fact that it's in blue.
Yeah. In blue?
Is that fucking blue? Is that fucking blue? Also, going to the Japanese art, they don't quite show off the anti-gravity happening, but this is still at a time. So again, we have another example of the Japanese box art taking inspiration from the American box art. You have Cortex there looking all cool. Cortex, I believe, is in fact in his actual... this is a NitroKart version of Japanese Cortex, which is cool. He has his red gloves and everything, so it's already more accurate.
Again, why is everything blurry? Like, I don't...
They're going really fast.
They're going really fast. Let's see, what's the title here? I can't read the kanji, but it says NitroKart.
Alright, cool. Go fast.
It's something NitroKart.
So there's
it's like dynamite or something. Who knows?
There's that. I actually like this because how you're saying. Do you think this is better for it still being located in at a time, because it's not like all this negative desert space? Now you have like the small little canyon side to the right, a cactus to the left, the big clock in the back.
Yeah, because like you can see the road, and like, the characters are more to the forefront, and it's not just a bunch of empty space.
Yeah.
The colors kind of go together a little bit better.
Now, I feel like we have to bring this one up because it explains away some of the weirdness with how Crash is portrayed around this era. we need to go to the N-Gage box art now. Because while the American
Oh.
while the American version of the N-Gage artwork is just ours, the console American artwork, this is completely unique.
It's also very wrong.
We have Twinsanity Crash for some reason.
I was gonna say it looks like Twinsanity Crash, but I kind of like the render though.
We
It
have
looks nice.
Wrath of Cortex, and then Coco and Tiny are in their Nitro Kart renders.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is different.
And we're, I think, in, what is that? Is that Tiger Temple randomly, I think? Set in the daytime? It's weird. I don't know what's happening with this art. It's all over the place. Like, it looks nice, but it's inaccurate as fuck.
Will this technically be Tiny Temple?
Did I say Tiger? I meant to say Tiny. I always get them for some reason confused because
the only thing that I don't like is that the logo is going over Crash's ear.
Yeah.
Where his ear should be in front.
If his ear's going to be in front, then you need to push the logo further up in that top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to cover too much of the sea. That's probably why they did it. I mean, I like how the missile's, like, coming through the N-Gage, like, thing. It's, like, again, that little subtle fourth wall-breaking thing where they overlap the official, like, console banner. But, okay. Here's my explanation as to why this is weird. So, in this era of the middle of the kind of franchise, where it's, like, Wrath of Cortex, Nitro Kart, even, some of the Game Boy games, they'll use like a Wrath of Cortex render, a Twinsanity render. So Traveler's Tales, I think it was Oxford. I'm not sure if it was the ones that made Wrath of Cortex, because that was like, I guess, the central, like, main division of Traveler's Tales that made Wrath of Cortex. If I might be wrong on some of this, so if anyone knows like the actual divisions or whatever, you can correct me in the comments, but to my knowledge, I think it was like the central, like, main original TT team that did Wrath. Traveler's Tales Oxford made Twinsanity, and I think they must have been the ones to have been given the project of Nitro Kart first, because that's why if you've seen the concept out of, like, Nina was supposed to make her appearance in Nitro Kart and shit like that, it has to have been TT Oxford. I say that because, and I mentioned a little bit of this during the Crash Purple, Sparrow Orange debacle from the Sparrow Boxarts bit. So TT Oxford must have done like a bunch of these assets, and they probably were the ones to do another revision for these character designs. They must have done Crash first, and then like Coco and them later. I have to assume that's how it went down. Because the only real render we see from this Twinsanity-esque, it's Crash. Crash is also, as we're going to see later, on the cover for Crash Purple, so there's that. But for some reason, so the N-Gage version came out around the time that I think Twinsanity was being worked on, and it was around the time, too, that Vivi was doing Crash Purple. So I don't know exactly how the timeline is for the development of all these different projects, but because the Game Boy games are much smaller scale, I guess they were being worked on faster, and the next console game was going to be handled by TT Oxford. So they must have, for whatever reason, I forget exactly why, they took TT Oxford off of Nitro Kart, gave that shit to Vivi, to Vicarious Visions, and that must have come with the assets that TT Oxford already made, which I guess is why this is the earliest known recorded appearance of Twinsanity Crash way before Twinsanity. It's weird. It makes no sense. I don't know why they never used the Nitro Kart model. I have no idea why. But Nina, for whatever reason, was scrapped from Nitro Kart. I guess when the project went to Vivi didn't really know of any of that stuff. They just had the renders for the characters that already existed. So they would later put Nina, as we'll say, into Crash Purple, and that, as I said before during the Spyro stuff, that pissed TT off because they were already working on Twin Sandy at that point, and they wanted to properly introduce Nina there, which is why it feels like that's more of a proper introduction than in Purple, where she actually made her first debut. It's weird. I could you tell I'm a Crash fan? I don't know. Maybe
there's your Crash history lesson.
Maybe I like the games. I don't fucking know. I played a Crash game once in my life, but that would be why we have all these weird renders. Like Crash is just so heavily misrepresented around this time for like what design they should use to represent him on the box or even in the games. It's insane. It's fucking weird, and I don't get it. And it's hilarious to boot. But that's Nitro Kart.
That's Nitro Kart.
Nitro Kart is all fucking over the place.
And this is Crash Bandicoot Purple, Ripto's Rampage. Look, it's Spyro in the corner.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. Yeah, we talked about this briefly, so again, there's not too much I'm going to say that's all that different here. I like how Crash is spinning through the gems in the same way that Spyro was charging through the crates. So they're going into each other's worlds. Again, just a recap from the Spyro one. I loved this era because playing the Spyro games, playing the Crash games, now they're in the same game, and that was the promotion was through the roof. It was everywhere. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And again, we have Twin Sandy Crash right here, so nice.
Yeah, I like this is alright. I like the way that the gems look. You know.
They're very shiny.
It just looks like a big slab of crystal that he's breaking through.
I like it. There's a lot of purple. It's cool that to do this, they like color coded the titles, calling it Crash Purple, Spyro Orange. It's just, I don't know. Those colors are very iconic to these characters.
I like the stylization of purple.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like having the little... it's just showing you that it's Spyro. It's got the little tail, the little hair spikies. Featuring Spyro from the Devil May Cry series over there.
Crash kind of looks unsure. He's like, I don't know if I should be here.
I think. I like Ripto's Rampage. That's evocative of Spyro 2.
Yeah. That's a good title. Is it scales in the background of the logo?
It looks like that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's scales.
Because I was like, I don't know what that is. It kind of looks weird.
Because it was orange fur for Spyro Orange.
Right, it was fur. Yeah, the
boots with the fur.
That is weird. With the fur.
And again,
down finger.
Again, too much misrepresentation. We have across this art and the PAL art for Spyro Orange. We have like 4 different versions of Crash being represented. Because here it's Twin Sanity Crash, only on this front cover. On the front cover of the PAL version of Spyro Orange, we have, because this is the render they use for the American version of Spyro Orange for the little featuring Crash. But for the PAL region, for some reason, of Spyro Orange, to represent Crash, they used a Wrath of Cortex render. Then in the cutscenes for the game, because they're all done with sprite work, but they're based off of the designs for Nitro Kart. So Coco's in her Nitro Kart look, Crash is in his Nitro Kart look, Crunch is in his Nitro Kart look. So you have Crash Nitro Kart right there. And then the actual in-game sprites for controlling Crash are the same as in Huge Adventure and Entranced, which was lifted and rotoscoped off of the Naughty Dog models. So you have his Naughty Dog look, his Wrath look, his Twin Sanity look, and his Nitro Kart look all in one fucking game. It's weird. I don't get it.
Wow.
It's really funny.
You know, it looks like rock candy that is breaking through.
It does look like rock candy, you're right. Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks.
I love Pop Rocks so much.
Fusion.
Okay, yeah. So again, don't care for the name. But he's a lot closer now. It's really weird.
Yeah. He's like, is it okay to do this?
He's getting closer. The little if you notice the debris, the little gem debris is a bit different.
Yeah.
If you flip between these two. Also, you don't have any more of that fourth wall breaking bit off to the left hand side, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's too bad.
And again, for some reason, so weird too. Instead of saying guest starring Spyro like in the American version, this version says link to Spyro Fusion.
Yeah, links to Spyro Fusion.
And it's like, oh, you're just gonna remind us that they're both called the same boring, bland ass thing, huh? Okay. At least for Spyro, it's the same render. Oh, but for some reason, I think he was made smaller.
Yeah, for some reason you can see his neck here.
You can see more of the background, like a little gray background. That's interesting. I guess they had to push him back because links to Spyro Fusion is like going over that entire part of the circular little thing he's in.
Yeah.
So his snout would have probably like covered a little bit of it, I guess.
Links to Spyro Fusions. Like, what does that mean?
I mean, I guess they thought, hey, don't think that this is just one game. It's not Spyro and a Crash game. It's their, it's a joint adventure. There's a Spyro game that does much of the same thing.
That makes it sound like you have to use a link cable.
That does, and you never do, if I remember correctly. I don't think you need to do that for any reason for these games. I can't recall. I could be wrong, but I can't recall.
I missed the link cable.
Right. That was fun to mess around with.
As a Pokemon fan, link cables were everything.
Oh, yeah. So because this is, again, just Crash, Spyro stuff, this is much the same that we've talked about before. They decided to parallel it, with the Spyro Orange cover. This is Crash, featuring Japanese anime Spyro. And it's the same boring thing that I don't understand. Also, Crash is in the air for some reason. It made sense for Spyro, does not make sense for Crash.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, what's up?
What does this one
so
say?
it has the same title as the Spyro one. It's
Okay.
Exciting Friends Big Adventure.
But it says advanced too, right?
Yeah, so it's Crash Bandicoot Advance. Exciting Friends Big Adventure.
Well, at least it's unified. Which I guess is taken from the PAL naming convention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm assuming what's supposed to be done here is you take this art and you take the Spyro art and you mash them together, I guess, because it looks like this is one half to the other half, which is the Spyro half.
Wait.
I'm going to do that in editing.
Wait, hold on.
I'm going to do that in editing
don't
and see if it looks like a complete image, because I'm wondering if that's what the intention was.
Wait, I think it's like... Wait, no. I think it's Big Mission or something. Wait. What the hell is that kanji?
I think you said mission in the last one.
Yeah, no, it's like Big Mission. I can't tell what this kanji is. It's not Vulcan, so it's like... yeah, it's like Exciting Friends Big Mission. Something like that.
Also, do you like how they kind of returned to the Crash 1 board with the sort of ribs on it?
Yeah.
It's more like a broken board.
I kind of do like that. I like the blue on the reddish brown rib board.
Yeah, there are a bunch of colors here for this logo. It's like yellow, orange, red, blue.
And it says, Gesto Spyro.
Yeah. No, that says Ripto. What are you talking about? Little anime Spyro.
Yeah, we've talked about anime Spyro before.
Yeah, with his cool hair.
It's cool hair.
But again, this is not the best way to represent that they're going to each other's worlds, because that doesn't look like the Dragon Realms. Just like how what little you could see of it, especially with the Spyro one, it didn't look like the Wumpa Islands. I mean, well, it actually kind of looks closer to the Wumpa Islands. But, like, that's the point. They're going into each other's worlds. So why is there not, like, a castle or something in the background? And why is he in the air? I don't get it. For Spyro, he was flying here. I don't know what Crash is flying through the air for some reason. I get once again.
He's like, hello down there.
I'm gonna pee on all of you.
I'm gonna pee all over you.
Golden shower. Anyway.
I'm gonna fucking pee.
Oh no. So
weird.
Yeah, you cut this diagonal, like I said before, with the Spyro one, and it's the same thing. You have Crash taking over the entire left-hand side, and then it's the logo, the sky, and like the land you can barely see down below.
Right. Huh.
But as you're seeing, for all the design changes that Crash has been getting up to this point, Japanese Crash has stayed pretty much exactly the same. No real changes at all. Hardly any.
Yeah, Spyro just went through a lot of weird stuff in Japan.
Yeah, Spyro's Japanese identity is kind of weird, yeah. Not very many of his games made it there, and these later ones I did, they completely redesigned them.
I know. Okay, well, let's see what's next, because this is very bland. This is very bland.
Yeah. This one I felt like throwing in real quick, because we talked about it before, the Super Pack. It was pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Nothing too crazy to write home about. We can skip over this one relatively quickly. I just wanted to shout it out, because it's so cool that you could get both of them in one single package. I kind of wish that Fusion, quote-unquote, did this, because you would have eliminated the need to be like featuring links to Spyro Fusion. You get both of them right here.
Yeah.
But for our American version, yeah, you have the fourth wall breaking with Crash going through the Game Boy Advanced banner. Advance? Did I say advanced? Advance.
Advanced banner.
Crash, the logo, is also kind of going over it, so that's cool. Always awesome to see. I like how it's not exactly even. It had to like bulge out downward to compensate for the Spyro part of the logo.
Yeah.
So it's straight. It's a little distracting. Other than that, yeah, no, you get the best of both box arts, and I love them.
Okay, I found out what the kanji actually is for the last one. It's Saksen, so it's strategy. Exciting friends, big strategy. That was the last one.
Oh, well,
I'm
that
pretty
makes
sure Mission was the one on
Spyro's.
On Spyro's, yeah, it was like different.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess. They have to figure out how to, stop Ripto and Cortex and all that.
Yeah, big tactics.
Okay, so this is interesting. Here we are with Crash Twinsanity. It's time. So we're starting with a very bizarre, and this is the best picture that I could find on such short notice. Even though I said that I got all the other pictures, but I couldn't find a proper, like, clean picture of this. It's actually very hard to find. It's documented. I wouldn't say well documented, and like that everyone knows this one, but this is the version of the artwork that I know. When it comes to these two weird American versions and the PAL version, the thing with this is that this artwork is consistent through these three versions we're going to be showing you, but on like varying levels of detail. It's bizarre. So this is a very simplistic version of the iconic art that you guys should know. This could be found, this is the one that I know. This can be found on Hollywood Video. Jesus Christ. Hollywood Video demo artwork covers. So the back of this case is like generic information. It looks all digital and like, whatever. And then it has like the controller with all the controls on it. So it's a demo, like display case, as it were, like for all intents and purposes. But for some reason, it features very, very simplistic like line work, and the shading and lighting isn't really there on this cover. Even the background,
it's all flat colors.
Very flat. Even the background isn't all super shiny and but this is the one that I know. I just want to point out Cortex has little flashes in his eyes that wouldn't stay either. So like This, like, someone drew this. I'm not sure if this was Keith Webb or somebody else. Someone drew this, and then there were like revisions that were made that made it to the other box arts. But for how this looks, it's very unique and super iconic because this is the one and only Crash artwork for the box cover that is done in a 2D, really slapstick cartoony style, and I like it a lot for that. Also, Crash has yellow shoes for some reason.
Huh, you're right.
But
he has like red socks, or are those just like?
Those are his legs.
Those are his legs. Okay.
I like his knee pads, and his square French fry fingers.
French fry fingers.
And Cortex, for some reason, has a blue inside of the mouth. He's very unkempt. And his eyes are yellow. I think he's on drugs. I'm not sure.
He might be.
But for me, again, it's iconic. This is the version that I know. I didn't realize that the artwork looked any different until later. And that's where we get into the version of the box art that you guys know, everyone else in the world knows, which is this one. And
Yes.
A lot flashier. You got more shading and lighting. It looks fancier, I guess. Not much is different. Again, it's the exact same image. It's the exact same artwork. They just put some extra detail into it. What do you make of this?
It's all right. I mean, like it sure stands out. Like I really like the 2D art style, as you said, and I do like the green. I think there's a lot of green.
So much green. It's like Spyro. We're in a void right now.
Yeah, we're in just the green void, and we got like I like the black swirlies in the back of the logo.
Yeah, those swirlies, man, that influenced my Destination Mark logo. I had to recreate them sort of, or I took like a spirally effect and replicated it for Crash Community Day 4 plug. Anyway,
Plug.
September of this year, 20th anniversary of this game.
Yeah. Crash's yellow shoes are still weird.
That's true. They have remained, which is really funny.
I still like to think he has red socks for no reason.
I always thought that the little, you know how the shoes, the openings of the shoes have that outline, and that's what the white is. I always thought those were socks.
Oh yeah.
I like to see. This is the one time where this is the beginning of Crash wearing like Converse sneakers now, and
yes.
The C replaces the little star. So that's funny.
Very cool. I like Cortex's green tongue.
It looks like aqua blue.
Yeah.
It's like a purple ass like fucking uvula.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm saying he's very unkempt from the mouth regions. He no longer has the little blasties in his eyes. That's really unfortunate.
Right. I do like the extra, the shading though.
It's okay. Like seeing the highlights and everything in the hair and on Crash's nose. It's in his ears. It's strange to me personally, because again, I'm not used to this one. I do have another copy of Twinsanity with that is this one, so I have a proper Twinsanity cover now. But when I didn't back then, and I guess we must have bought it off of a Hollywood Video or something. There are some Hollywood Videos, there were some rather, that let you buy movies and games and shit, so I guess we got it from there legitimately. But they gave us that cover. And then PAL happened.
Yeah.
We're going way too far now. Any more and they're gonna be real humans, like live action people.
They're gonna be like photorealistic.
We are going hyper realistic right now. Like, what is this? What did you guys do?
I don't like this. It's really scary.
It's weird.
Crash looks like he's gonna kill him. Like
Straight up, he's gonna kill him.
he's like prepare, and then he's like gonna.
His head got bigger if you check the last one and this one.
Yeah, it did. I think that's what makes it look really scary.
Cortex looks a little smaller. Something about Crash is bigger because his hand, the one that's going outward, not the one grabbing his hair, is like very close to the corner of the art, whereas it's not quite that. Everything looks smaller. He looks smaller than Cortex in the other artworks, but then here, the logo was made much smaller, and Crash's head's like way bigger.
Yeah, Crash just looks scary. Looks like if you put a weapon in his other hand, he's just gonna stab him. Holding him down.
Some details on the shoes look a bit different. His elbow on his right arm, the one that's holding the hair, is like obscuring the top hair on Cortex's head. Little things like that.
His shoes are still yellow, but like they've got orangish on them.
Yeah, that's like the highlight, the lighting on them. You have much more shading and lighting happening on Cortex's like boots and his gloves and stuff. His hair again. Crash's eyes now have a realistic shine, and the nose has a more realistic shine. It's weird. I do not know what to think about this. He has a weird wrinkle mouth line on the top of his mouth. I don't like it.
Ew, you're right. What is that?
I don't like it. Very weird. You're starting to lose the cartooniness the more you get. I mean, the line work is gone. This is all like we're trying to like put 3D like CGI textures over a 2D image. It's very weird.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god. It's like lineless art.
It's so strange.
Lineless shaded.
It's like you're slowly getting rid of like what made the original so like iconic is that it's 2D. The fact that it's completely like it was drawn and it looks drawn. I like that look. It reminds me of like the Mario Strikers box arts. Like that shit goes hard, and like the models and everything are regular in game and they're 3D and CGI, whatever you want to call them, but the art style, the promo art, all of that shit is like 2D, rough. It's all sketch. You can see the line work. You can practically see the fucking like the T, the cross on like the face where you line up the fucking. You can damn near see all that shit on it. It's so cool looking.
I'm surprised they didn't just like get the models from the game and just pose them and it's like. In this case,
I'm glad they didn't do that. That would be the next step after this, and I wouldn't like that at all because again, it gets rid of that like cartoony. They're supposed to look disproportionate because it's a wacky Looney Tunes ass looking like piece of 2D art. When you translate that into 3D, it looks horrifying.
Yeah.
But again, we have Japan doing their own thing.
It's okay. Crash doesn't look like he wants to kill anybody here. He's not holding him down. He's just doing his own thing now. Yeah.
Like a cop.
Oh no.
I really like the stylized swirlies for the Crash 5 logo.
Crash 5. Yeah. Oh yeah, that does look really cool.
This, you don't have to translate this one, I already know it. It's the ambition of Crash and Cortex.
The ambition? Okay.
That one I've read numerous times before, and I've played this on stream. So, because I also have a Japanese PS2. I don't have Wrath of Cortex, but I've got this. I need Nitro Kart. I need Wrath of Cortex for my the Japanese games. I need Tag Team as well.
What level are they in?
No clue.
They're just on a beach or something?
I'm assuming it's Insanity Island, but I don't fucking. It's the closest thing. Like, why are there coconuts in the trees? How come they're not apples? How come it's not Wumpa fruit?
It's coconuts in this game.
That's what it looks like. They look like coconuts. I'm not sure what those are. They're coconut colored. Why is Cortex
is like, Crash, come back!
Crash! Why is he flying at him? Like, Crash running like that makes sense. And this is about the closest you're going to see to them really, like, altering Japanese Crash's look. His face and general shape is the exact same as it's always been, but he's wearing the Twin Sanity attire, the shoes, the knee pads on the pants. Like, that's all Twin Sanity branded specifically, but it's still Japanese Crash at the forefront. Cortex has his updated look with the red and everything, but like, this would have looked better, I think, in the terms of the two of them if Crash's like back arm, how it's just kind of disappearing behind his leg, and Cortex reaching out with that hand, if they were holding onto a crystal.
Yeah.
That would have looked a hell of a lot better. So it looks like Crash is going up at the camera like, yeah, and he's just dragging him behind him.
Right.
Because that's what you do for part of the game. Like, that just makes sense.
That would look a lot better. But this, it just like, Crash is just kind of going ahead, and Cortex is like, come back.
Come back. There is a weird trope, I guess, now at this point, pattern, if you will, of characters just flying in the air for no discernible reason.
Yeah.
And shit's really fucking funny. Doesn't really grab you to like what the game's about, but it shows you that Crash and Cortex specifically are getting into some wacky adventures, so there's that.
Or it just looks like another Crash game where Cortex is doing some shit and Crash has to save the world.
That's true. Ah, yes. Yes.
Tag team racing. My favorite.
Again, we're in a weird void, but it's just so iconic. Like, I don't care.
I love the blue here. The blue looks so nice.
It's so good.
Because everything else is red and it pops.
I think the bias is, if there has to be anything of a bias between like, oh, well, I played Crash first, so how I always, bash the Spyro Boxarts for having like a void, but here, like, I don't know what else they could have shown. It's just so, I guess the motor park, but like, this is so iconic that I never like criticized it before. Like, it's cool. You get the mechanic of clashing. So Cortex is doing some shenanigans up top, and Crash is like nearly taken off right there. He's not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
You have the markings of the track to show it's another racing game, and there's our first instance. I believe it's our first instance of the CC Zoinks font for tag team before all the post hiatus games just ran with that shit as like one of the main Crash fonts.
Nice.
The logo went through a lot of revisions. You can see, like, if you can find early images of those early logos, you'll see, like, it went through a lot, and I like what we have here. It's just, it pops right out at you, like you said. It's got an abundance of orange and red in that logo, so it contrasts nicely with Crash on the cover, plus his red cart, and then the fact that it's, red on top of a blue background. It pops, and it shouts at you, and it's really, really cool. Plus, hey, I think we're kind of, for a while now, this is the start of us coming out of misrepresenting Crash. Both of them are in their tag team renders.
Yeah.
So, Radical knew what was up. They didn't use any of the old shit for the most part. I don't think they did. They stuck with what they created.
Yeah, it's cool.
So,
I like Crash's legs kicking back there.
Yeah. His shoes are wrong. Just to let everyone know. His pants are correct. His shoes do not look like that in the final game. They look more in line with his old sneakers. Those are still Converse sneakers, but they're colored like his old shoes. Why do I know this? I've spent my entire life looking at Crash Boxarts.
I've spent my entire life staring at Crash Bandicoot.
That's true. It's fucking true. What have I done with my life? Yeah.
May or may not have a picture of Crash in my house on the wall.
I just watched that last night. It's so funny that you bring up JonTron.
May or may not have photoshopped his undies off. But yeah, it looks good. I like Crash's big face smugging up the camera.
Yeah. Cortex using his weapon that sucks in-game.
His really big weapon.
Really big weapon. Crash Tag Team Racing.
Crash Tag Team Racing.
I love that trailer.
Collection. I like Crash's green eyes.
Green eyes? They put it all the time on Kids WB. I'd be watching like fucking Lunatics or some shit, and then this would come on, and I'm like, so exciting.
Oh, you can see the spikes on those tires really well.
Yeah, it's really good. I believe the PAL region is pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Everything's
a little bit placed kind of in the background a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the camera pulled back a little. That's what it looks like. So
Yeah.
you have more room, but
it's the same.
it is the exact same. I'm trying to find a single.
I'm also trying to find details.
The particles, I guess, on the explosion. Like some of the little explodey bits are like a smidge different, but it's nothing to really like. I mean, it's whatever. You know, it's everything else is like the exact same.
Yeah.
Just pulled back a little bit. And then we have Japan. Once again, doing their own thing. And once again, Crash is just fucking flying through the air.
What does this one say?
Yeah, what does this say?
Okay, that's, oh, God. Because it's so stylized that I don't know how to read it. Is that Okay. Okay, wait. Something world. Okay. Okay, I have no idea. It's something world. But yeah, I don't know what the hell is happening with the logo. Like, what's in the background there?
So the background, yeah. Oh, it's going ham. They went crazy with this logo. This is representing all the different theme parks, the different bits of the theme park, the different attractions, I should say. You have a little bit of Tyrannosaurus Rex, Happily Ever Faster. I believe. Is that Astroland in there somewhere? Yeah. You have plenty of bits happening here. You have like some of the road down at the bottom. And it's kind of also shown in the background of like the art itself. Like, I don't know where they are exactly, but you have the two new characters. You have Von Clutch and Pasadena. Some more of that beanstalk happening over there in the back. Some crystals. Coco in her new car. She's also she doesn't have her overalls.
Yeah, okay, so it says gachanko. Like, that's what I thought it said, but I don't know what gachanko means. It's something world. Gachanko Warudo, but I don't know what gachanko is.
Let's go to good old Crash Tag Team Racing Wiki. What does the wiki say? Oh, doesn't say anything.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. That's what I thought.
Sick. Wait. Let's go to the official wiki. Wikipedia. It also doesn't say anything.
Yeah. The hell does gachanko mean?
Okay. Fuck.
Anyway, Crash is like yeehaw once again. With his fist in the air.
Crash is yeehawing.
Coco's looking up like, oh yeah.
That's pretty neat. My brother's flying through the air.
Cortex is falling? What's Cortex doing?
I do not know what he's doing. He is definitely falling.
He's falling?
He is going to die.
Pasadena's giving you the side eye.
Criminally offensive side eye. Von Clutch is having World War II flashbacks and getting ready to kill Crash.
Yeah.
Take down the bogey.
He's like, oh no. Man.
Yeah, a lot happening on this this cover. Again, Japan loves their look at all this shit we could put in here.
Look at all the stuff we could shove into the background. Look at these 3 big crystals. Look at this dark gem.
It does look like a dark gem. You're right. Why is it? Yeah, that's like Crash 2 when Cortex first finds the crystals. Like,
yeah, why's that even there?
Yeah.
What does that represent?
I mean, it represents the fact that you get crystals, but like...
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know why they're in clusters like that. You're not ripping out formations from the ground.
Cortez looks like he's gonna fall onto the track and Pasadena's just gonna run him over.
If she isn't, because she hates him.
I know.
That's funny.
Oops, sorry. But not really.
She's looking at Crash like, I'm gonna fuck that man later.
Yeah, that's why she's giving him the side eye. The big beanstalk in the background.
Yeah. I like it okay. For what
This is a fantastical land.
You do get to see that the Clash mechanic is still there because Von Clutch and Pasadena are in the same cart.
Yep.
So that's cool. Yeah, pretty solid. I like it.
It's alright. I just think there's there's just so much happening in these Japanese box arts.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna keep up for a while. We're gonna see at least one more that does that. So here's Crash Boom Bang.
Oh, here's the game that everybody likes.
Everyone's favorite. I mean, this grabbed me. I'm already like, all right, everyone's in their tag team renders. We got cool shit. Coco's got a fucking slingshot. Awesome.
How the hell is Crunch fitting himself into that little kayak?
He amputated his legs. He has fused with the boat. There's no other option. There's no other solution.
Yeah.
He's sitting on his knees, and he's in the little hole.
Yeah, he's stuffed into the hole.
I mean, how is Cortex fitting into that little tiny ass plane?
I mean, I can believe that a little bit more. What's with the random soccer ball?
Crash is hitting the soccer ball. I'm not sure if there's a soccer minigame. I don't fucking know. I do not know.
He's hitting it with his head.
Yeah.
And Coco's gonna slingshot it.
Directly at Cortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a thing. I like the logo.
I like the logo too. I was gonna say I like the bomb in the logo.
Boom Bang
Crash
is
bomb bang.
once again done in the CC's Wings font. This grabbed me. I didn't see anything wrong with this. Again, the way I found out about Boom Bang was that all of a sudden, sometime after Tag Team, I was like, oh shit, there's a Crash game on DS. Like, that's a first. Like, that's cool. And that's why I wanted a DS when I was a kid, and I never got one until I eventually did get my DSi. But at that point, Boom Bang wasn't really found on store shelves, and not just because I had already gotten it well after the game was already like in its peak, like we're selling this, in stores, but also because the game wasn't very good. I didn't know that at the time, so when I eventually got a used copy from like a retro game store somewhere, I finally got to play it, and I was like,
Oh.
Yeah. It's like the composition isn't even that bad. I mean, I like how the characters are in like all four corners. I like the blue and the orange. It, contrasts really well.
and right now,
There's nothing super wrong.
right now, I might as well also throw up the European one because there is no difference at all. Absolutely no particles placed differently. It's the exact same.
It is pretty much the exact same, yeah.
But that's what wrote me in. I was like, this is gonna be cool, and then I played it, and I was like, this is not very cool. But then you have this.
Oh boy.
Which, whoa. That's information, all right. You have put things on a box art.
What's going on with Pura?
He's anthropomorphic now, Aaron. Did you not know that?
He turned into a real furry.
So did Polar, but he's not here. I don't think. I don't see him anywhere.
I like Fake Crash hanging from the top there.
The
He's like,
first appearance of Fake Crash, I believe, in a box art, which is pretty funny.
So this is Crash Bandicoot Festival?
Is that what that says?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Festival.
That makes it sound like a sequel to Bash or Carnival for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have apples. You have a 9-ball. You have like billiards, bowling, soccer, a crystal, a rocking horse, a nitro. Cortex is still in the plane.
I was wondering if that was a rocking horse or just straight up like real ass pony.
I don't know. Maybe it could be. I don't know. Coco has a new look in this game. This is from Dimps. So there's a very unique render of her in that style with that wardrobe. Her shoes are really weird. They're like bowling shoes, but she's got a tennis racket. I don't know what's happening with that.
I remember that. Doesn't she look kind of like Tawna in this game?
Sort of. I mean, she's still very kid-like, but or very teen-like, but she just has like a more cheerleader-looking wardrobe. Like a tighter shirt, like a little tank top. She has like little short shorts, kind of.
Yeah.
So they got that here for the most part. Like, Cortex is reaching out for Crash, like, you fucking Bandicoot.
You trapped me here in these vines? What's going on?
There's a pizza in the back randomly.
Yeah, there's a pizza. I don't know why. You want some pizza?
My favorite minigame, pizza.
My favorite Crash Bandicoot mini.
Wait, yeah, you're right.
Pizza one.
Is Cortex in the plane because it's below him, or is he entangled in vines? I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna.
Or wait, is he in one of the like little roller the Atmosphere, the little roller ball?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because it looks oval or not oval, sphere shaped.
Yeah, spherical. Yeah,
spherical.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I don't know. I've never played this game, so I don't know what's going on.
Don't subject yourself to this. It's weird. The game is so weird. Now, how I was, complaining earlier, everyone's saying Crash Bash is a Mario Party ripoff. This is a Mario Party ripoff, and it's not a good one.
And it's not a good one.
Yeah, very ballsy of them to put anthropomorphic Pura on the fucking cover. Very, very strange. But it tells you everything you need to know. This is a wacky party game.
I do like the colors of the text of the logo. I like how every character is a different color.
That's very Mario Party-esque of them, because Mario Party does that all the time. But yeah, I mean, what else? Is there anything you don't like about this?
Probably like, I mean, I was gonna say like the white background, but at the same time, I guess it works because there's so much shit in the background to fill up that space.
Yeah, they're having a party game in heaven. There's like clouds and shit. They're like in the sky.
This is all just a dream to them.
Again, very ballsy putting someone for a character like Pura there when they should have put like the Viscount or something. If you wanted to show like, hey, there's a guy here who's actually kind of the villain of the story.
The Viscount? The
Viscount, dude.
It's the Viscount, dude.
He's here to find Shenron. He's gonna say his one wish, and then, spoiler alert, Crash makes a wish instead, and he wishes for all the Wumpa.
He wishes for all the apples.
No. God, no, yeah. Why?
No, why? Oh.
Here he is! Crash of the
Titties! Yes! I don't care what anyone says, yes!
It's good. It's really, really good. Crash of the Titans!
It's fun. I mean, well, I don't know. I like Mutant more than Titans, but, like, still, Crash of the Titans is basically what got me into the Crash series, so. I really like this box art. I like it's simple, but it's, it's effective.
Yeah. The only one thing, I know why, it was probably a little too complicated, but the one thing they don't show is the fact that Aku Aku is used to take over the Titans.
Yeah.
But you do get the cool little, like, patterns on the Ratsicle who's in the jungle for some reason. I don't know what's up with that, but
in the jungle, yeah.
We wouldn't see that literally until Mind Over Mutant, but I mean, whatever. You want to show that it's the jungle, it's still very Crash-like. Nothing's really changed.
Yeah, they're just like, look, guys, it's still Crash.
Crash looks cool with his new design and his big old swiping hand, showing that he's controlling the Titan.
Showing that he no longer has gloves, but now he has tattoos.
Tattoos? Yeah, you can't see him too well here, but you can see him on his arm.
Yeah.
He's a lot fuzzier. He has more jagged fur. His hair is a little spikier. He has a little chip missing in both his ears.
I know, he looks cute.
I love this design.
I like the Titan's design. It's cute.
The Titan's designs are so good. And it was intentional for them to have that punk edge to them because this is the time. Plug, go watch Miharu's video on the weirdest era of Crash and Spyro.
The weirdest era. I revisit the weirdest era of both Crash and Spyro. Titans of Legend, I call it.
It's a really clever name. I love it. But
hell yeah. This was it was so different, and I don't know, like, because whereas a lot of people were just like, that's not my Crash Bandicoot, I was just like, whoa, that's Crash? Cool.
And for me, I mean, following everything, it's still the Crash that I know. He looks different, of course, but he's always looked different throughout the course of all. If this has shown anything, he has looked different. It's on a game-by-game basis, and this is just another one of those. It's the one with the most changes to the look, but the look overall is still relatively the same. Nothing has fundamentally been drastically altered. He just has different looking pants, a different looking belt, no gloves, different looking shoes, and tattoos. The tattoos are probably the biggest addition to him.
Yeah. Just like, what is weird tribal tattoos? Why?
Tribal tattoos were all the rage in the 2000s, and they were super cool.
They were.
I love them.
Cool.
Yeah. I like the logo. Silly little pun. Clash the Titans, Crash the Titans.
Logo looks good.
Looks really good. And I don't think there's that much different between this and the PAL version. There's pretty much nothing really all that different.
No, they're like exactly the same.
Yeah, there really isn't much. I think the Sierra logo is made a little smaller. That's like the only literal thing I can see different. But yeah, no, at this point, the European artworks were pretty much like unchanged. We saw it in Boom Bang and Tag Team and Twin Sanity. So like at this point, we're kind of unified, and we're not going to see too many insane differences between American and PAL.
I love the colors, like, you got the orange, the blue, and the green. It all blends together really well, and it's just like this is such a PS2 box art.
It's really of its time. You're right.
Yeah, it's like this is so like kind of like mid 2000s, late 2000s PS2.
Yeah, I love it a lot. So because American and PAL are so different, you're probably wondering yourself, hey, are we going to get to see Japanese Crash with tattoos? No.
No.
Titans and My Different Mutants are the only two games that I can think of, literally, where Crash didn't make it to Japan. These two did not make it to Japan. So we're not... Of
course.
So we're not going to see... we're not going to see Japanese Crash with ragged fur and tattoos and shit, which I'm sure there might be fan like designs of it out there, but it would have been really cool to see. Maybe they wouldn't have put like tattoos on, or if they did, they'd probably make them a little bit different, but it would have been cool to see him without his gloves and to see him with like spikier hair and shit.
Yeah.
Hear the dialogue.
So what is Japanese. This? What is this Monster Edition? What is this?
So the Monster Edition's interesting. Yeah, every time I showed it to you, you're just like, what the fuck? So you'll recognize that PG rating down there. I believe this is still PAL. It says so even up top. But this was a rare limited edition version of Titans that came out, I want to say, specifically in Australia, I believe. As you can see, still has Crash, still has the Ratsicle, but this is just more of a bonus edition with it's packed in with different physical goodies for you to use. So it comes with the game, a bonus DVD, which I think has behind the scenes stuff, maybe like trailers or making of things.
Okay.
A little hanging decor, little bauble that's in the shape of Crash's head. A pencil case, which is orange, which is what's making up that orange background. That's technically clear. The background is clear. What you're seeing is the pencil case.
Oh.
And then it comes with stickers of the characters, the logo and shit. And then you have, this was popular for kids around this time, those water-on tattoos. They made some of Crash's tats, and you could put them on your arms and your hands, and
cool.
I would have loved to have had those. I would have put that shit on.
Like, look at me, I'm Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, Jesus. I would have been so bad with those. Oh, those are really cool. But because I used to put on water on tattoos as a kid. I remember having like Oni ones, like the little Oni mask and shit, and like dragons and stuff. Like I remember those.
I think I had Pokemon ones.
Nice. So yeah, it was more of like a bonus goodie pack that just had a bunch of extra stuff, but for some reason, like no other region got it. And it's kind of rare to come across nowadays. I mean, you could find it on eBay and stuff, but they're not super cheap, if I remember right. Last time I looked them up.
Yeah.
But that's the Monster Edition. Again, no Japanese version, so we're going right into Mind Over Mutant.
So the background, again, the background is clear, and that's just the pencil case that we're seeing in the back?
Yes.
Because I was going to say, orange on orange, not a good look.
It's interesting. I mean, it's the first time for a Crash Void that it's the same color as him.
Alright, Mind Over Mutant. You know what? I'm not a big fan of the box art. I like the game more. Where are Crash's tattoos?
Right. So, first off, sacrilege. I know, I'm sorry, I could not find clear images of the PS2 copy.
I was gonna say, I was like, is this Xbox 360 and Wii?
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
The PAL version is Wii. I mean, these two are like the exact same. There's nothing, again, different about them. I did come across images that I previously didn't know about. I'll probably throw them up on the screen. I'll show you probably a little later, or unless you want to stop everything to look at them. There are concepts of this box art, of the posing of Crash and of the Titans, and one of the mock-ups has him look a little similar to Titans Crash, and you can see, like, really fuzzy in there, the general shape of his tattoos. The reason why this looks like this, from my knowledge, is, if I remember hearing it right from back in the day, this is supposed to be a parody of when, like, Atari era, like, games and developers would make those really weird, hyper-realistic, like, Americanized box arts.
Oh.
Like bad box art Mega Man, or like Atari Pac-Man. They just look nothing like what the game actually looks like. And some of them are more fashioned after, like Mega Man looks like a real ass, like, human male. It's very bizarre. So I think this was going for like that hyper-realistic, I talk about hyper-realistic, CGI, like, style, overly detailed for no discernible reason. It's supposed to look kind of ugly. People bash on it all the time. They go, man, this shit sucks. Why does Mind Over Mutant look like that? That's not what they look like in the game. It's supposed to, that's intentional.
Okay, I guess that kind of fits with, like, the cutscenes in the game having, like, different art styles.
Yeah. It's all a big parody.
Yeah. I mean, that fits. I like the game better than Titans, but, the box art is, like, I always thought it was super weird just because it's so, like, hyper-realistic. And I don't like, I don't like Crash's face.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm going to show you one. Teeth. I'm going to show you one, actually. I'm going to go, if you have Twitter open, send you... I'll send you one or two of these. So here's the first one, if I can find it real quick, where it got saved. This is one of those mock-ups. I'll be throwing these up on screen as well. He looks more like Titans Crash. You can see his tattoos kind of in his fur.
Oh, yeah, I see. That's weird.
So that was one mock-up. You have this mock-up, which I don't remember ever seeing before. So this is a thing where they have him upside down. I mean, it's kind of like from that one trailer, but like he's doing some funky, silly shit to them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, these are interesting, different little takes on what became the final front cover. I wasn't aware of these until like very recently, actually. But yeah, this is what we have for Mind Over Mutant. Again, this one also didn't make it to Japan, so we just have the like otherly like European, like again, like the Australian, Swedish versions of this art. But they're all pretty much, it's all this. It's all the same exact cover.
Okay. So
that's Mind Over Mutant. Is there anything else you have to say about this? Sorry, oh my god, my voice went. Is there anything else you have to say about this?
No, not really. The colors are kind of eh.
Well, I like the green. I like the green smoke. It's all mysterious.
Yeah, I guess I guess it's okay. It's nothing like spectacular. I don't know. Something about the realism is kind of like throwing me.
Like I know it's not quite the exact same models from like that one trailer I keep referencing, but they have some fuzziness there as well. Um,
Yeah,
I just
that's fine.
I like the fact that I didn't know the Xbox version of Wrath of Cortex had like fuzziness to Crash and Coco, so like I had no idea that was their first time experimenting with that. So this is Mind Over Mutant was the first time I ever saw like a fuzzy like HD for the time, or I don't even know if it was HD truly, but like you know CGI almost movie like looking Crash. And I thought it was so cool. And this, while it doesn't look as maybe appealing as that trailer or commercial version of that model, it's still okay for me. Like I like looking at them, fine enough.
Yeah,
But I get
it's
why
alright. I
I get
really
why
like the logo. The logo I really like.
I get why others don't. Yeah, the logo's super cool. A lot of purple happening in the logo with Mind Over Mutant. I like
Yes.
the gears and such. I like how the like logo, like the Crash lettering is like protruding out these like wires that are electrifying the Mind Over Mutant part of it.
Yeah, that part's cool.
Messing with the logo, really the iconic lettering, really cool stuff.
But other than that, I think I just prefer the Titans box art.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So we didn't see Crash for a while. We saw him in like some racing games on iPhone and whatever. Um, but after the hiatus, and we got the announcement that Crash was coming back and he was going to appear first in Skylanders. Everyone knows my thoughts on that, specifically, but they started to calm after the game actually came out, and I played the game, and I didn't just play Thump and Wumpa Islands. I played the entire game. Um, but this is how Crash started with his revival. You got
Yeah.
Crash and Cortex in Skylanders Imaginators.
It's I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at here since it's the whole, it's the whole box with all the figures and stuff.
I mean, okay. So first off, I felt like representing this because of the fact that we talked about Spyro's Adventure. Spyro was still on the front cover of the
Yeah.
first Skylanders game. So here I was like, well, there's at least a version of like the big Imaginators pack, because they're not on the there is no like Crash Edition box art of this game. So this is the
Right.
closest we're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least Crash is front and center, so you know that it's Crash focused, and it's not Stealth Elf's adventure.
Dude, that's true. Cortex looking
Cortex's
silly.
adventure featuring Crash.
um, yeah, it's cool. You get the new Skylanders for this game, and then the original pack without Crash just includes, I think, the two of them, and they're not, of course, on the front. Crash and Cortex aren't on the front, but here they're shown very proudly. Nice little kung fu pose from Crash. The most Charles and Billis he's ever looked. Inspired, which is super, super cool. They took this was still VV, so they took the best of all the previous designs. The only real new thing that they added were the studs on the brass knuckle looking fucking things on the gloves. But they took the best of like most of the other designs and mashed them into one. They kept that stocky nature, like his really like bulbous body from like the Night Dog era. Cortex just straight went back to his original design, like the original colors and everything, except he's still yellow, but they look cool. They look really spiffy. It was a small peek into what they were gonna carry over into Insane, and
Yeah.
as much as I talk about Skylanders the way I do, I think they handled Crash and Cortex's inclusion like very well. There was many reference. It was almost like seeing them in a Smash Brothers like thing, like getting all the references, seeing the cool moves. One of the coolest moves he'll ever have in any game. I'm surprised they didn't even do this for fucking Rumble. Was have like Crash leap up into the air with his jetpack, and then he started shooting dudes from down below with his Wumpa Bazooka. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So
I never played this. I don't know.
He can use his yo-yo to like whip it around and like destroy enemies that way. He could throw out some TNTs and then spin them into like enemies and stuff. It was cool. It wasn't anything super crazy, but And the level is relatively short for what it's worth, because it's part of the main game, but it's located on the map separate from all the main story shit. Um, but like you have to do the little prologue beginning, like very beginning bit, and then after that, when you get to the overall like world map, a little bit, if you're playing the Crash version, like deviates off, and then that's the Thumperwumpa Islands.
Uh-huh.
It was cool. I dug it. I thought it was really cool.
Funny how you didn't care about Skylanders until Crash was added.
Well, I didn't. Well, the thing is, if they had treated him badly, I would have been even more mad because I still think, of course, that they treated Spyro badly. It would have been a massive. I mean, I was against the idea at first. I made a video where I was like, "Really, this is what we're doing?" Like, I don't want to see this. And that was like a day before E3 2016 happened. And then you see my reaction. I was like, was that real? Was that real? I don't know. His design's a little weird. It took me a while to get used to it. I was trying to find something to bash on. But the more I was looking at the artwork, the promo images, the screenshots, the gameplay B-roll, I was just like, you know what? Oh my god, this actually is kind of cool.
I was trying to find something to bash on. Why? Why do you try to find something to hate? Why would you do that?
I had a very cynical mindset back then. You ask fucking Matt, ask Kingdom Wayfinder, ask Velazio.
I need to hate something. Good God, I need to hate.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, I was like, how did they fuck this up? They're going to fuck it up. I was assuming. I was like, how'd they fuck this up? What's going on here? But the more I was looking at it, logic kicked in, and I was like, you know what? This actually looks kind of cool. Like, for how the Crash representation is happening here, it's actually kind of cool. Because my whole thing isn't really about Skylanders as a whole. If it didn't baby the player so much, maybe I'd care a little bit more about the branding of Skylanders. But the two things I care about are the handling of my boys. Spyro was at the start, and I didn't like it. It seems like they learned, because reviving Crash, they actually put care, attention to detail, shit that we know as longtime fans, and things that, kids who don't know Crash would be like, okay, this is fun, this is wacky, this is hilarious. And then it was all a setup for what would, come later, Insane Trilogy.
Yeah.
And here we are with Insane. It was good. I still think Insane was very good. Is there anything else last minute for Skylanders you wanted to say?
Nah. I mean, Crash's overall design and model is a little weird, but I don't really mind it.
There was plenty of stuff like that little like breakdancing idle animation and stuff that they lifted. Of course, the new version of the Crash Dance that had the Running Man instead of the little hip thrusts, pelvic thrusts. That all started in Skylanders, and they brought it over to Insane. Cover's cool. This was the first experimental, like, okay, we're going to be doing this very important remaster. We're trying to get, new players into Crash, but we need to do right by the fans that have been there from the very beginning. I think I would have went with different, maybe not for Crash 2, but I would have went with different areas, like locations, levels to represent like Crash 1 and 3. This was when they weren't really showing us much of that. They didn't even show us Crash 3 yet, I think, by the time we saw the official art here. But like, okay, I guess that's Insanity like Beach or something, or even Jungle Rollers for Crash 1. Crash 2 is the polar level, and you can't see him, but being obscured by the Insane logo, Polar's up on the little cliffside there. And then it's just, Cortex's castle for, quote-unquote, Crash 3? It's not like the Warp Room or anything like that. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, can't really tell. I mean, it just seems like, 3 iconic locations, sort of. I like Crash's pose.
I like it a lot. It's a really cool render for him.
I like his 3, but it's sometimes 4.
Japanese? Five fingers? So this and the PAL region are very, very similar. Nothing is different at all, in fact.
Yeah, nothing's different. I like the logo. Forgot to say I like the logo.
Oh yeah, recently I saw there were revisions to that. There were different versions of the logo as well. It was actually going to be called Insane Collection at first.
Oh.
And then they were like, that's a stupid name. So there was one early logo that said Insane Trilogy, and they must have said, okay, that's the one.
Oh yeah, I did see the variations of that. Some of them were really cool looking.
Yeah. Here...
remember the Spyro ones with Treasure Trilogy?
Enchanted Trilogy.
Which honestly I would have liked better. I kind of liked Treasure Trilogy because the alliteration. But anyway.
Reunited was never on the table for that. From what I heard Treasure Trilogy and Enchanted Trilogy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is...
I saw Enchanced.
I thought Reignited was weird. I even said that in one of my videos I made after the trailers and all that shit dropped, and the screenshots. I was like, Reignited Trilogy. That's like a handful, like a mouthful. Like Treasure Trilogy. Treasure Trilogy, Enchanted. Again, we're talking about Spyro and his Crash. Treasure Planet. Insane. This is the like we did with Spyro. This was the tentative placeholder. Yeah, box art. He's like,
the background was nice. The render's okay. He's like,
I love him. That's the way he is when he gets scared by the logo in Crash 1.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's, I guess anything is better than thumbs up Crash. If he would have been the placeholder, I would have been super angry.
This pose though, paved the way for a couple of the little marketing like goodies, like some of the merchandise. There is the first 4 figures Crash, which I have. Yeah. I have one. It's actually kind of bad that I've got some DVD covers on top of it, but one of the ones I pre-ordered were, I think, among the first 100 or 1,000 made. One of those two numbers. So I've got 2. I've got one that I pre-ordered that was like the regular little version that was just the figure. And he's, I opened him up. He's in the living room on one of our shelves. But I still have the one in box from that special collector's edition. That's like one of the first couple, it's like the first 100, first 1,000.
Wow.
So that's how. Can you tell I'm a Crash fan? I don't know. Maybe slightly.
Can you tell I'm a Spyro fan? Maybe that's why I keep coming back to Spyro. Anyway.
This is, for what it's worth, at the background, nothing here is offensive. I like how Insanity Beach looks. It's very detailed.
Crash offends me.
Okay. I like the totem poles. The poles are cool because they have the exact same patterns on them, the little faces and stuff. So it's very faithful, right colors and everything. Really cool. This looks like Insanity Beach, so, first level. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And here is the wallpaper. This is the full entire piece that they used for the final box art.
I like this.
There's
this
Polar.
One's really cool.
Polar
I always thought
revealed.
Coco looked really cute here.
Yeah. Why is she why are they bricking her into like a
Yeah, why is she hiding there? Was she forced into this location?
Why is it Thomas the Tank Engine where they bricked Henry into a cave, into a tunnel? They took the fucking train tracks away.
And Coco fucking fell over.
One day in the island of Sodor, Coco fucking fell over. There's Brio off on the side there.
It's Brio. It's fine. Where's Engine? Why can't we have Engine on here?
Engine isn't really a part of too many box arts. Most of the Japanese ones, really.
I know. Justice for Engine on the box arts.
Hashtag justice for... He better be on the Crash 5 box art, I swear to God. There's Pura over there. Uka looking sinister. Some crates.
The Aku just kind of staring at nothing. He's staring at the ground.
What? Yeah, what is he staring at? He's like, oh, that's a box right there. Hey, Crash, spin that.
It's like he's like contemplating something. He's like, what? What am I doing here?
He's like, oh shit, another pack of games where I have to be shoved into my own crate. I like the
Shoved
details.
into a crate.
I like the details surrounding the big central portal that Crash is going through. Like you have like the sand right there, all kind of like broken up, like bunched
Yeah.
up sand right there, and it goes into the. It's weird because Spyro, I feel, speaking of Reunited, did a slightly better job at like segmenting off the different parts of like the games being represented, whereas
Yes.
here it looks like it's the jungle mashing with Cortex's castle because of how it just fuses from one to another on the floor there at the very bottom. And then the pathway being split open is like a portal to the snow levels. It's really weird.
Then you got Polar looking like, oh,
Polar's like, oh my god,
I'm here.
hello.
Hello, I'm here.
But it's cool.
What's Bonus Bob doing down there?
Bonus Bob. The Witch Doctor. Remember in Crash 1 in the instruction manual, he was known as the Witch Doctor. He didn't have a name yet.
I like Bonus Bob.
Bonus Bob. Where did that come from? Was it a magazine or some shit?
I don't remember, but it's really funny.
Bonus Bob. That sounds like a character you'd meet in the bonus rounds. That's Brio.
Bonus Brio.
Bonus Brio.
I don't like how sinister that that chair looks in the middle of the room.
Why? It's supposed to be sinister.
I know, but it's just like it looks like you're gonna die there. Someone's gonna die there.
Yeah, it's the execution. That's where it is Crash's last meal. His last words.
His last words were spoken. His last words, pancakes.
Oh boy, I like this artwork though. For what it's.
Pearl looks cute.
Yeah, little Pearls hiding in the fucking thistle. But yeah, it's really cool and I like it. And here we are with the Japanese version.
Yes.
Somehow they actually managed to get away, I think, with no, you can kind of barely see it, I believe. I think he does still have 5 fingers. I think.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But here's Japanese Crash back in his glory once again. Everything else is pretty much the exact same, but
Okay, what does this one say? Butobi 3 something.
cool.
I don't know kanji. Kanji is hard.
Yeah, I like how it's just a big ass 3 in the center there. 3 adventures.
3 adventures.
3 revisits.
3 games.
Yep.
That's what it is.
While you work that out, I'm just gonna say I really like the Japanese Crash that they created here. They paid attention.
He looks silly, but yeah.
Well, they paid attention to the older designs. Like he has his like spiky, silly little eyebrows. His eyes are the Pac-Man eyes. His hair is orange again. His shoes are like really bright red and more cartoony looking. Like they paid attention. It's really cool to see the. He looks actually. I didn't think about this till just now. He looks like the Crash that's on the that other version with the less detail, the quilt thing of Crash, Japanese Crash 1.
You're right. He looks exactly like that.
He has those weird kind of proportions, sort of. I think it's funny though. At the same time, we're going to be seeing this a lot more as we go through the last couple things here. That no one else is in their Japanese design. It's just Crash. So you still have American Aku, sorry, and Cortex there, but Japanese Crash. It's very silly.
Okay. I don't know. What the flying through the 3 levels of. I don't know. It's something like there's 3 games in this. Who knows?
It's just called Insane Trilogy.
Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty much the same, except I wish they had made a different Cortex.
Yeah, me too. The weird phenomenon we're going to see now is that it's going to be the Japanese box arts are going to be pretty much in line with the American artwork. They just literally swapped out the American Crash for Japanese Crash.
Yeah, it's pretty much what they're gonna do. I love Nitro Fueled.
Nitro Fueled! Funny enough, the reason why I asked if they were in Papu's Pyramid for Crash Bandicoot Racing is because, I mean, here we are. Papu's Pyramid.
Yeah. Here we are. It's
Um,
because it was like the first one shown off in the trailer.
yeah. Well, again, it's them taking one location, picking one, and being like, okay, this is the one we're showing off prominently. So all throughout the marketing for Nitro Field, it was Papu's Pyramid.
Coco looks cool. She's giving you the side eye.
She has a weird, like, Legend of Spyro Eternal Night side eye happening. It's really funny.
Yeah. It's just like, haha, I will win, brother.
Brother. And then Cortex is like, actually, this time there's sense for him to be flying in the air. He's being blown up.
Oh, God!
Versus Engine in Crash Bandicoot Racing, where he's just not even in a cart and he's just flying through the air.
Yeah.
No cartoon zip, like, zoom lines or anything. He's just in the air. And then you have Oxide.
Love this logo.
It's cool. The one thing
It's so clean. Like, damn.
It's clean as hell. Unfortunately, there is no version for any of these box arts because they did recreate him holding the trophy in the blue circle, but that's not part of any of the box arts, unfortunately. The only thing I don't really care for, and it's just me, it's a nitpick, the Crash Team Racing font is not the same. It's not the classic Bandicoot font. That's it. That's it. Everything else looks very good. I like the Nitro Field wording, the logo, the colors. It's all really good stuff. Crash giving his typical little thumbs up, and Coco being silly. I like the subtle thing of Crash is in a Nitro cart, and Coco's in her, and Cortex, I think, are both in their, oh no, Cortex actually is in his Nitro cart as well.
Yeah.
I forgot they redesigned it a little bit. He doesn't have the, that cart no longer has the handlebar, like, bike, motorcycle looking.
Right.
It's a steering wheel. But that's
cool how, like, it shows you that you can have all the different kinds of carts.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but I like it. Then we have, of course, the the placeholder art, which looks a little more in line. It's more classic CTR. You have Crash in the center, Cortex on the right of him, and Coco on the left. I mean, our left,
pink flower.
His right, yeah. Yeah, the flower... Listen, I didn't even mention the flower in my Coco analysis video. There was no point to it, but it is weird how the flower has always changed color, not been there, this and that. It's fucking bizarre.
I like this placeholder. It's like...
It's cool.
It's very classic, because they're all in their classic carts.
Classic cards, classic positions, again, when you compare it to the original CTR box art. The only thing that would have made it better is if they did a CTR C&K and like put a checkerboard background, a checkered flag background in there.
That would have been cool. I would have been like perfectly happy with this as like the main box art.
Then you have the Oxide edition, which just slaps the Oxide PNG over Coco.
Yeah. like Coco's not even in there anymore. She's like been
deleted.
She's been deleted in favor of the Oxide. They're just like, what if we took the Oxide that's all the way in the background, put him in the front? It's like, okay, then where do we put Coco? She's not important.
Yeah, so whatever. He has a sister? What?
The thing we like most about Nitro Fuel
is that Coco's no longer in it and it's Oxide. Oxide's Crash's sister now. What?
Nitrous Oxide Edition.
CTR Nitrous Field.
Nitrous Field.
There are 3 nitruses in there.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, no, 2 of them. My bad. I roped in Tropy for some reason. That's nefarious. Anyway, this, I don't know if this was an actual cover. I think it was. Because now we're getting into the realm of, this is modern gaming. So there are, like, those little, like, digital promo pics.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is one of those or if this actually was part of the this was a physical box art, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. I thought it was really funny. This is the this is the version. This is not the version I own because again, digitally I pre-ordered the Oxide edition.
Yeah, so did I.
But the physical copy I got has Coco on it, so I mean, You know, I don't think there is a physical copy of the Oxide edition. Not too sure.
I never got a physical copy, so I don't.
Damn.
Yeah.
And play the sad music. This is the last time we're going to see Japanese Crash.
No.
Again, everything. Hey, you can see engine off to the side there. Is that engine or is that Dingo?
That's wait. Hold on. Let me see. It seems like it could be.
I think it's engine.
I think it's engine, but it's hard to tell.
His cart is purple.
His cart's purple, yeah.
So I guess it has to be engine. I didn't realize Sega fucking published this version. That's funny.
So this is Crash Bandicoot Racing Butobi Nitro. So it's like flying nitro.
They had to fly a lot, I see. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Again, pretty much it's the exact same box art, except it's blown way the hell back. It's brought like way like the camera's like panned out.
Sorry, it's Nitro. But whatever, it's nitro.
And Crash is Japanese Crash with 5 fingers.
With 5 fingers, yeah.
But it's the exact same.
I wish like everyone else had been changed as well. Like it's too bad that's only Japanese Crash. It's just like, well, you know, we gotta make sure.
But again, we're gonna be flying through these at this point. We're at the end. It's everything gets unified pretty much from here on out. So.
Oh my god, remember this?
Mobile games?
Crash on the Run?
We didn't even show Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2, Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D, Crash Nitro Kart 2. Anyway... I felt this was worth mentioning, so I put it in there. Crash on the Run. I love the splash screen. It's really cool. The idea... It does look cool. Crash... With them putting like Mario Run out there, and it's in New Super Mario Brothers, but the game plays itself, and then there's like Sonic Dash or some shit. There are many different Sonic runners out there, but Crash, having a Crash runner just made sense. Like it's the only difference is you're not having him run forwards. That's the only thing he's really doing automatically. But you can still spin, you can still jump, you can still slide. And they reworked the main platforming mechanics into an endless runner type game. And it's really cool. It's unfortunate that they went the whole weird route of like kind of MTX. And it's like, oh, you can either wait for these concoctions to be done so you can use that to progress here or do whatever or face that gang or face this character, or you could buy the resources, money.
It kind of sucks because I did pay so I could have the Bianca outfit for Coco. But then it was just like, well, the game's no longer a thing, so I was like, okay, I just deleted that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I didn't even get to play too much of it. I played a little, but I didn't even have like the correct iPhone. I don't even have an iPhone. I used my iPod fucking Touch. Actually, it wasn't even that, because it was too old for that. I had to use my like Verizon phone, my smartphone.
Wow.
Because someone provided a copy or something.
My phone doesn't run games that well anyway, so I was like, whatever. I don't need to play it.
I had a couple games on my phone, I think, if I remember right. But Crash on the Run's surprisingly worked relatively well. And again, doing what Nitrofield did and bringing in a bunch of characters that we hadn't seen in so long, and even going a step beyond Nitrofield and fucking bringing back like scrapped concept characters like the pink elephant from Twinsanity and fucking they made Mr. Crumb real. He's back.
Mr. Crumbo.
Mr. Crumb tree thing even also from 99X. Like that was cool. They did some cool shit. They brought the Titans back. Scorporella's there, and that was a ballsy move.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I mean, again, with what Nitrofield and On the Run did, which we never thought they would do, is they celebrated the entire franchise and having, the only real, again, game that never got any love was Boom Bang, which is kind of unfortunate in hindsight because at least it had like a cool new character with the Viscount. He could have been something more if like they didn't just drop him after that one game. And you think he would have gotten, a second chance with Nitrofield. He was on my list of top like 20 characters I wanted to see like in Nitrofield, and he never made it. But
yeah,
it was cool.
I think that yeah, this like this art is pretty good.
I like it a lot. Again, jungly, got Cortex being all maniacal in the background. Coco and Aku's eyes are still rub me the wrong way. They're too far apart, both of them.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really have a problem with Coco's overall look.
Her overall look is fine. It's just her eyes are a little too far apart for my taste. Crash, for some reason, King loves the lower eyelid because he is always like...
Yeah, he's always like that.
Yeah,
right.
he always has one or both of his lower eyelids like showing. It's very strange.
Something that I thought was weird about the way Coco looks is like, I couldn't tell if it was... Is it the way that her hair is? Or is it that she has thick eyebrows? I didn't know.
She does have thicker eyebrows, and they're like...
Something was wrong, like, when I looked at it, and I was like, the hell? Like, what?
She has thick eyebrows.
What's wrong with this?
Her hair is a little bit more detailed, I guess, but it's still as curly as ever. It's the exact same shape you always have known it to be. But the eyebrows are thicker, and they're more brown, so her eyebrows a little more represent, like, Crash's as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was worth bringing up. And now we have Crash 4. Super cool.
Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. Remember when people made petitions to change the ugly designs?
I am so glad that these characters look the way they do now because they look really cool. I dig these designs.
This is my favorite Crash design ever. He looks extremely cute. And, like, I don't know why people are so opposed to that. Like, people are making comparisons with, like, how Crash looked and how KO looked, and like, well, I mean, regardless of how I actually feel about that game, people are like complaining about like why do all the 3 mascot characters, like, you know, they always like they look so much fluffier now and like cuter. I'm just like, why are you complaining about something that's cute? Yeah. Like, why would you complain about that? Cuteness is good.
Yeah, but Crash still has his edge. No, the thing that I've been seeing around, of course, which I've shown you plenty of pictures and evidence and stuff, is how, his jawline is wrong. The craziness in his eyes isn't right.
He's not expressive enough.
It's really weird shit. It's you think I was trying to find anything to bash on for Skylanders. They're trying to find the weirdest things to bash on for Crash's new look here. I think Twister Bob did an amazing job redesigning them. Everybody. Coco looks cute. I love her design so much. Aku looks fine. Uka is cool for what little we see of him in Crash 4. Cortex is at his best. Tropy is really good. Everyone loved Tawna, at the very least. All the fucking thirsty motherfuckers were definitely in love with Tawna.
And all the people like huge, extremely chunky dingo who's just
big
gotten...
Chungus.
Yeah, Big Chungus who's just gotten chunkier and chunkier as time went on.
It's true. I don't know if I believe I've asked you, but I'll ask it again for the sake of the podcast. Which dingo do you like? Do you like top heavy or bottom heavy? Thinner, slimmer dingo like Crash 3, Bash, Team Racing, or like Twinsanity, Crash 4, like Big Chungus?
I like Big Chungus.
Big Chungus dingo?
Yeah.
I think it's really funny. He has 2 different little characterizations there. Got the new Quantum Mask right here. You've got... this is the method for how they travel through the little dimensional stream. So from hopping from dimension to dimension on the world map, having the awesome moment where you're going through everything, like colliding through one another before you fight entropy, the entropies. It's really cool. This aesthetic.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like the blue, and the logo looks really cool. I really like the 4.
The 4 is cool. They're having that blue and purple like aesthetic, the color palette, the shattered glass aesthetic is really cool. People have complained before, and I see it, obviously. I don't mind it really because it doesn't look that bland. People, this is around the era, we're in the 2020s now, the minimalist look started to hit a bunch of logos and a bunch of shit around this time, and Crash Bandicoot, it's not the same logo you remember from CTR Nitro Field, from Insane, from anything prior. This is a brand new take on Crash Bandicoot, and it is, admittedly, flatter. It doesn't have the shine to it anymore, but it doesn't look bad. You know,
Yeah.
the age, weirdly, bizarre. This is a bizarre choice. Look at this back. Go to Insane and look at this. The age is mirrored. I have no idea why.
Yeah, you're right.
Or just check. I think it's. Oh, they did it. They did it for On the Run as well. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for some reason it is mirrored.
But again, PAL, the exact same. No changes at all. I think the whole thing shifted a little, or that could just be the perspective of what I've got right here. But nothing is very different. I think it's a little more colorful, but that could be also like, again, the pictures I chose, the saturation might have very subtly been bumped up just a touch. But again, it's the exact same. And unfortunately, this was both Toys for Bob era Crash games. They didn't include Japanese Crash. It's again the exact same. Totally unified. The only thing remotely different is Lonnie and Akano kind of move a little bit. That is like the only difference, literally, between the Japanese artwork and the US and PAL artworks. But at this point, where we are now, everything from here on out is totally unified.
Okay, so... Okay, Crash 4... Okay, what does this say in Japanese? This is... We have another tondemo.
Oh, cool.
So it's like...
Interesting.
Unexpected... Maruchi? Okay. Maruchi... But okay, multiverse.
Unexpected multiverse?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Outrageous multiverse.
That's cool. I mean, yeah. Because again, we have a weird little... In the same way that Crash 3 had a weird thing with, like, is it a time travel game? Is it a world tour game? Here it's like, is it a time travel game or is it a dimension hopping multiverse game? And it's still kind of both. Because even though, like, you know, in game we get, oh, you're hopping through all these different, you know, dimensions. Like here Tana's this, and here another entropy exists, and here this happens. But you have a date. If you look, you know, in the game as you're running around the world map, each dimension has its own date of like 1970 whatever, or rather like 16
actually
something.
in this case Tondemo could actually be like flying through. It could also be like flying through the multiverse.
I see. That's funny.
So I'm not sure what Tondemo means because there's no kanji. The thing is, if there was actual kanji here, then I would actually know.
Oh my god.
I can't read kanji very well, but sometimes it helps for me to know the meaning of certain words if there's the kanji. But if there's only hiragana, then it's hard to know what they mean by tondemo.
And I'm surprised because, again, the Japanese version of Wrath of Cortex is the only one technically labeled as Crash 4. I'm curious as to why they didn't think to try and change the 4 to not make people confused of like, oh, this one is also called Crash 4, but it's coming out like 20 years after the Crash 4 we already had, like what's happening there. So I don't know how they managed to do it, to differentiate it. But that's Crash 4. And now we're on to where we are now with Rumble. This is the only image I could find. This is, again, the promo image for the standard edition, because the only physical copy that is out there right now is of the deluxe edition, which has different colors and stuff. But this was one of the earlier artworks for Rumble, and I love it so much. It's so fucking cool.
I love the colors. The half blue, half red, orangish.
Yes.
Very it's gonna be iconic with Rumble now.
I love the renders, the new souped up renders of everyone. So cool.
Everyone looks really good.
If you look, it's so funny because if you look at the original, the first Rumble pick, you see some stuff that's a little weird, actually. You see Brio with a render where he's in like mid-mutation transformation into Hulk Brio. You have Oxide for some reason randomly chilling way out in the back. Coco is actually holding a relic, which no other version of that render has.
Oh yeah.
Interesting stuff. Very interesting. Because no other box art or like wallpaper or key art that we're going to see has these elements. So I think it's very unique and interesting.
You're right. Oh man, that's crazy.
Plus the starry background also at the top as well. But this right here is the full wallpaper key art for Rumble. And this has Coco without the relic. No Oxide in the back, and Brio is not hulking out.
Why is Catbat gonna throw Aku Aku?
It was really funny that like the first instance we got of Aku even being in the game was of Catbat holding him, because I thought that was going to allude to Aku being like a power up you could pick up. I mean, he is, but not in the way that we thought he was, or at least that I thought personally he was going to be. I had no idea. We hadn't seen Tar Valley. That wasn't revealed at any point yet, to my knowledge, so we didn't know what that render of Catbat was alluding to with them holding Aku. Also, them, first non-binary character in the franchise, Catbat.
Yeah.
Super cool after being teased in fucking Crash 4.
Caddis Battis.
Caddis Battis. So I just want to get this out there. I think it is cool having like the representation for Catbat in there. The way they did it too was very clever. It's not like they felt the need to force an LGBTQ plus character in there. What they did was they had Catbat be the product of two different animals like Dingodile, but one was male and one was female. And I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
So, other than that, again, this is just an epic fucking wallpaper, a piece of art. I think it's mainly fashioned after Tiki Towers, because
Tiki Towers.
that seems to be one of the main, again, taking one location and using it for most of the promo stuff. I think that's what's supposed to be going on here. The pedestal with the Wumpa in the center is entirely original, though. Doesn't look like a bank of any sort.
Yeah. Interesting. Good colors, good character renders.
Definitely. And then we have, again, these are all going to be essentially the same bits of art, just recolored, rearranged. This is the one physical copy that is out there for us and for the PAL region. It's the deluxe edition, which features a golden background and golden Wumpa, but still some elements of blue and red in there as well.
Okay.
Same renders.
I don't like this one as much because I think it's too much gold.
Too much gold. But I like that they kept the red and blue theme in the background.
Yeah.
And pretty much everything we're going to look at here, yeah, so this is the American version. The PAL version is like the exact same, no changes at all. And then once again for the Japanese version of... I don't even think Japan got a physical copy of Rumble, because I'm looking at
this
these
looks
here.
like a CD case.
It's definitely one of those like digital like little art pieces for the digital version. So what does this say?
It just says Rumble.
Oh, so it's literal translation.
Yeah, wait. Hold on.
Is it Crash Team Rumble?
Yeah, Crash Team Rumble.
Okay. So there's this copy, or this version rather, and then there's the digital edition, which includes a golden vignette. I think they heard you and said, "You want more gold? Here's a vignette."
You got it!
More gold? You got it. And here we are. Same renders, same characters, same everything. A dingo at one point just fucking vanished. For the Japanese version, But besides that, yeah, everything is unified from this point onward. It's the same artwork.
Yeah. I mean, not only Dingo, Tawna vanished too.
Oh, true. You're right. Yeah, so it looks like a 3v3. I guess for spacing purposes, they took them out because having the 4v4 obviously is much more accurate. But there's also the 3v3 mode, so whatever.
But it's also the 3v3 mode. And that's it.
That's it. That's Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, a hell of a lot more games, variants to go over, stuff like that. But it was fun. I enjoyed this. It's always really cool to go back and look at the different covers and the different representations for all the characters, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, I think this one's and gonna end up much longer than the Spiral one.
Yeah, like I said, most of the franchise ended up on. In fact, everything except for the ones we didn't go over were tie-ins, Men for Mutant. They didn't have any Japanese releases. Skylanders and On the Run, those were like the only ones that didn't have Japanese versions for us to go over. Everything else did make it over to Japan. I found
good for Crash.
I found two interesting things. One, on Amazon, I found Tag Team Racing, so I'm gonna get that soon. Also, there is one more image I want to throw up because it's interesting. There is a fucking fan that was a promotional thing for the Japanese version of Huge Adventure, and it looks like the American box art. But with the Japanese Crash and Cortex, why wasn't that the cover? Why was it like, no, Crash is fucking huge and the Cortex is like peeping out from the bottom? The fuck? Anyway, that's pretty much it.
What the hell, Japan?
Japan?
Alright. Well, yeah, that's gonna do for this episode of SharePlay. Thank you so much for listening. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more casual gaming content. And I'll see you next time. Until then, this is Miharu, signing off.